Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to continue our playthrough of Isofarian Guard with a special sneak peek. We are going to be discussing the reprint on GameFound coming September 5th for the Isofarian Guard. I had a chance to talk to the designer of this game and he told me all the different things they're planning to implement in the new print run, and I want to discuss them with you and show them off in action for this playthrough. Before we jump into the gameplay, there are a couple things I want to talk about when it comes to the reprint and also what we did in the last episode. And from then, we're going to start our playthrough and continue on in the world of the Isofarian Guard. If you're excited to hear about the reprint, all the new things coming to Isofarian Guard, and see Grigory and Alec in action, then I need you to meet me at the table. In our last playthrough, we were able to make it to Fort Istra, and now basically the world is our oyster. We have a lot of side quests, we've got caravan quests, we even have a narrative event going on. I will tell you right now in this video, my goal is not to do the narrative event because I want people to be able to see some of the new changes coming to Isofarian Guard without spoiling any of the main story. One thing I am going to do is we decided to use the pine to build up our, the lumber mill or something. And I don't want to do that. I had a comment from one of my members of the community and they said, don't do that, you're going to need to upgrade your guys. And actually that makes sense because right now we're going to probably do some side quests and we're going to go gather up some stuff so we can make our characters a little bit more powerful. And to do that, I'm going to need the resource and the money to do it. But when we come back, we can get back to Istar and we can work on it as we get going forward. So one thing I want to mention is I did take back all 4 pine that we used in the last episode. Moving to the index, I do want to talk about how we're going to level up our guys. We have 36 Lux, but before I do, this is one of the changes coming for the reprint for Isofarian Guard. They are going to split this book up into multiple books. So I believe you're going to have a book for Istar, you're going to have a book for all the different places, you're going to have a book for the enemies themselves, depending on the nodes. That's going to be an actual fold-out thing for you outside of this book. So you don't have to keep referencing the one book. They're going to have books for the particular parts of the game you're going through. Now, for example, we are going to go level up our characters, and after talking to my Patreons, there was a majority of them that said that we should be leveling up Grigory. We should be going up a track and grabbing one of the new skills that we unlocked for our second chapter. So the one that got the most votes was going up these 2 health tracks and grabbing flanks. So that is what we're going to do. Now, on top of working on this book, they're also going to be working on the rule book and the reference book as well. And those are going to get a complete overhaul and relook to help with any rule discrepancies that were coming up. They're going to be addressing all those, and they're going to be performing they're going to be rewriting a new reference and rule book for this game. On top of that, all the stuff you're getting from the split up index and the rules reference and rule book are all going to be given to the backers of the original Kickstarter for free. It's their way of saying thank you for being part of the original Kickstarter and having faith in how they were able to produce this game. And they produced a fantastic game. Still on my list as one of the #1 games of this year. Gaining 2 health points on the level up system gives us 2 more health points, or up to 20. Now, of course, you can have a max of 22. We really haven't rested. We just kind of got Istar up and running, and we're going to be running back out into the world very soon. We've also got a new ability, Flank. I think it'll be pretty cool. I can spend a sword, and when I do, I'm able to spend 1 action cube to attack one enemy for 0. And if I use this as a chain, I can exhaust one from the target, which means they'll be doing less actions. Of course, after you use it, you have to flip it, and it says fall back. It's going to cost me 2 shields, and I can refresh 1 cube, which I think would be very good. And if I can chain it somehow, I can refresh another cube, giving myself 2 cubes back, which would be very awesome. Notice it does not take a cube to activate that particular ability. So you can just pay the 2 after you use something to get a cube back, pay another, or even if you had used 2 cubes out on your board and then were able to chain it, then you can get both those cubes back to do something else. So I think that'd be a really cool ability. With that done, we are going to spend our 10 Lux for each of those, bringing our dial down to 6. And in the reprint, they have said that this will also be upgraded. They're going to upgrade the Lux and Sil dials to a different system. It could be the same type of wheel system, or they're looking into other ways to keep track of those two particular resources. We also have access to caravan quests and our side quests as well, and I'm going to put our narrative chip on number 83, but we also want to take a look at these two sections of our quest book at this time. And I'll put the caravan chip on number 61. From Fort Istra down here, our narrative chip is going to be placed on 83, so I'll place that right there. And if we're interested in helping out the caravan, that is going to be on 61, which is right there. Of course, now these nodes are also available to us where we can gain certain resources such as pine or iron ore or other minerals or wood coming that will help us in advancing not only Fort Istra, but also helping out our characters. For example, in the town of Rosador, we can work on trying to get some reinforced tunics, maybe a couple of them for our characters. We also are probably thinking about getting the Volk Blade and Alloy Short Sword for our two characters as well. These are our main upgrades we're going for. Of course, we still don't have an accessory for Alec, and I was hopefully getting that concealing cloak, but it costs 20, and notice a lot of these also cost money. One of our biggest problems right now is we don't have a lot of money, so maybe going to find some resources and selling them might not be a bad thing, but I don't think there's really much more we can do other than hunting down some enemies and taking their gold. In the update that's coming through the reprint, they are planning to expand a lot of the blacksmith equipment as well, which is one of the things they're going to be doing. And they're also going to be adding in, again, more stone-bound universal abilities that can be used across different characters, and also new speaking stones. And there even are going to be some rarer cards that allow you to potentially use multiple accessories, because that was one of the things that people were talking about, is they have less chance of being able to use accessories. And speaking of accessories, let's check it out. A new action that is going to be part of your attack system, or during the attacking of the enemy, is after you draw all your chips, you can use 2 action points to be able to switch items from your satchel to your board if you wish to. There was sadly, for example, say I had that cloak and I was really cool, I could redraw things, but say, oh, I got into a battle. Well, obviously it's not going to do me any good, so I could spend 2 of my action points to put out something else that could potentially help me. For example, if I had this in my satchel, I could bring this out to help me, as opposed to having just kind of a dead space in my accessory slot. So I think that's a really cool upgrade. Let's quickly take a look at how the caravan quests work, because this might be something we want to take advantage of. It says in this section you'll find various caravan quests available. These quests are available at the start of chapter 2 of each campaign, and that is exactly where we are. Also notice up here it does not have that Forteller symbol, so this is not narrated by Forteller, but there's a chance that they may go through and get Forteller to be able to narrate the caravan quests and maybe all the other side quests that are part of the quest book. But of course, we'll have to see how that goes going forward. It says here, the campaign books will direct you to this section once they are available. There's a single caravan quest per chapter of each campaign. If you are currently in chapter 2, you may not begin the caravan quest limited to chapter 3 and 4, however. If you progress to a later chapter in the campaign, you may complete caravan quests from previous chapters. When caravan quests are available, the caravan chip is placed on the map in Isofar, like we already did, putting it on 61. After each chapter of a campaign, the caravan will move to a different node somewhere in Isofar. In Isofar. To begin a caravan quest, move the guards to the caravan chip and reference this section to begin the available quest immediately. If you decide not to start the quest at the caravan, you continue following instructions for the exploration phase. This means you would draw a chip from the event bag as normal, just like standard side quests. If you use the scroll chip to mark the next location of the quest once the caravan quest has been completed, you'll mark the square next to the quest on the X using a pencil and remove the scroll chip from the map. The caravan chip remains on the map until the campaign book directs you to move it. Once completed, caravan quests cannot be repeated. Also note that no bounty quest or other side quests may be in progress to begin a new caravan quest. Some caravan quests have multiple parts or scenes. The text will instruct you to move the scroll chip to an additional location if required. So as you can see, we have already checked off the first part, because I believe that means we're putting our thing down and learning about the caravan quest. But as we go forward, we're going to check off more of these in each one of our chapters going forward, from how I understand. Pull up a chair and be amazed that the great bard Sethus weaves tales of heroism and valor from the days of the great Sundringer. weep as he sings of the doomed love of Queen Titania and Salco, be horrified as he tells of the treachery of Anwe. Catch up on all the latest happenings of the great Sethis, relays new tales from his travels throughout Telios. The Caravan of Sethis offers rest and a hot meal for weary travelers, and, if you ask the right way, a glimpse at rare items of great mystery. The other option is we could do some of our side quests. I hope you enjoyed my greatest bard abilities there. I don't know how good my bard abilities are. It says in this section, you'll find the various side quests available. These quests are available at the start of Chapter 2 of each campaign. These quests are optional, but provide helpful rewards for those that complete them. Many of these quests explore events around the country of Isofar, happening outside the main narrative. The campaign book will direct you to this section once they are available. Side quests are limited to the current chapter you have progressed in each campaign. If you're currently in Chapter 2, you may not begin side quests limited to Chapter 3 and 4. However, if you progress to a later chapter in the campaign, you may complete side quests from a previous chapter, very similar to the way the Caravan quests work. To begin a side quest, place the scroll chip on the starting node listed to mark that the side quest has been started. Move the guards to the scroll chip and reference the book to begin the available quest immediately. If you decide not to start the quest at the scroll chip location, you continue following the instructions for exploration phase for that type of node. Once a side quest has been completed, you'll mark the square next to the quest with an X using a pencil and remove the scroll chip from the map. Once completed, these quests cannot be repeated. Also note that no bounty quests, caravan quests, or other side quests may be in progress to begin a new side quest. Some side quests have multiple parts called scenes. The text will instruct you to move the scroll chip to an additional location if required. So again, we see our parts right down here, and it shows you how to check them off. And here are the Campaign 1 side quests for Chapter 2. There are 3 of them right here. One starts at the Ruba Docks, one starts at the Vonru Inn, and the other one starts in Stofa. So we'll have to see if any of those are going to be on our path. We have to decide what we want to bring along, what we're going to leave at the Fort Istar. We're going to bring almost everything we have. We're going to bring our 4 pine, our 4 metal fragments, our 4 rough leather, and we're also going to bring our 4 iron ore. And so we only have 2 spots left in our satchel because I am bringing the pickaxe, and I'm also bringing my wood chopping axe. Mainly because in order to upgrade our weapons and our tunics, we're going to need a lot of materials. First off, I think we're going to need 6 pine to do it. We're going to need all 4 of our rough leather. We're sadly going to need like 10 of these. I don't know how we're going to get those. And then we do also need 4 iron ore as well. I think we actually need 6 iron ore to upgrade everything. So we might have to do a little mining for iron, and we're also going to need 6 pine to upgrade everything. So I am going to have to use my hatchet to go get some more pine as well. So we're going to bring all of this with us on our way to Razador. Once we get there, then we're going to decide what we're going to upgrade, and then we're going to go mining and getting more resources, and then coming back to Razador, I think, to get the rest of our upgrades, and then do hopefully one of our side quests or even the caravan quest. To upgrade our equipment, I do need 35 sil, and I only have 26. So my goal is to go up and around and hopefully gain some sil as we go towards this city right over there. Now remember, while we're playing the game, we cannot move on to red nodes, and the green nodes now are available if we wish to try to get more resources. But like I said, we have what we need to at least start the upgrade process, but we will have to probably come back to this node and potentially that node. I'm not sure exactly what they are. I'll have to look in the book to see what we can gain from those resources, and then when we do, we'll be able to get what we need again to come back here, get what we want, and then move on to something awesome. So we'll start our turn by moving to 99, and at this point I will draw a token out of the bag. But before we do that, there is a change coming to the way that this whole situation plays out. A new action they're going to be implementing once we get to this bag thing here is when you reach in and draw one of the chips. If it is a skull chip, which this one was not, of course it's not, because why would it help me demonstrate what I needed to? If you draw a skull chip and you do not want to actually fight what is in the node, you have the option of both guards exhausting an action cube to be able to put that back in and not have to go through with that attack and continue on to the next node. Now that's a cool way to get to where you need to faster without having to deal with all these encounters, but the only problem problem is if you exhaust these action cubes and then you go into combat with the action cubes in the state they're in. So if you've used one of your action cubes to stop a combat and you move here, stop another combat with an action cube, and you only have 2 action cubes on both of your characters, because remember, both have to exhaust a cube in order to be able to put that chip back. And then you move to the next node and you draw yet again another battle. Now you have to do the battle, and it's almost like being ambushed, because that first turn you're going to have no action points for your characters if your default action point in total was 2. Now if you're ever at a point where he had 3 and he had 2, again, you'd only be able to stop the first 2 combats because he wouldn't be able to exhaust one on his third time drawing a chip that has a skull on it. But he would still at least go into combat with an action cube, of course, if that ever gets to that point. We drew a compass, so that means we don't have to do an action or a combat if we don't want to. Drawing that compass chip does put a purple cube on the event deck of that region, and that is this one, and it now has 3. And if there are 3 on there, I can choose to do this field event. The other thing I could choose to do is, if I wanted to, I could choose a battle event from the enemy index for that node if I wish to. One of the things coming in the new reprint is they are going to almost be doubling the amount of these events. On top of that, they're now going to have 4 decks. One of them they're adding is going to be the water deck. So we're going to have events that take place in the water. On top of that, they're going to be coming with a cover that shows which area these are all going to be from. Because for what you see now, you don't know which set of area this actually comes from, but this we know is from the forest area because we've gone through that in the setup from one of the previous videos. But they're going to be putting a card that shows what region it is with a little icon on it, and they're also going to have these little places where you can put the cubes to show what you have, and you don't know what card's coming from with that card on top. So we don't have that because we haven't done the reprint yet, but that's what's going to be coming in as part of the upgrades and reprint that is going to be happening for Isofarian guards. So I'm super excited to get more of these cards, and also that little card on top that'll help us what it is, and a whole other set of cards for the river events. So we're going to remove all 3 of these and do one of these events, which is going to be the top one here, and see what it says. It says a game of chance. A seer zealot approaches. She holds up a small bag. Take 3 stones. She insists. If they're the same color, I'll pay you 30 sil. Let's see if you have earned Eventa's favor or his wrath. Draw 3 chips from one of the guard's bags and then choose a path. If all 3 chips are the same color, go to path 1. If all 3 chips are not the same color, go to path 2. Oh, okay. I think we're probably going to use Grigory's bag. We're going to be using Grigory's bag because he's got a ton of black chips in here. I don't even know. Actually, I think he's got some other chips in here as well, but hopefully he just pulls out his black chips because I want 3 of the same color. 1, 2, and come on, let's go. 1, 2, 3, yeah! We got 3 of the same color. So let's see what it says now that we got the 3 chips. It says if all 3 chips are the same color, go to path 1. It says right here, and I'm going to cover up path 2 because I don't want to see what that is, because who knows, I might have this happen again in who knows, years from now. Zealot smiles. He is all too happy to hand over the coins, just as promised. Uvita's blessing upon you. I obtained 30 sil. Oh my gosh, that is so good. All right, we're going to put that on the bottom of the deck here. And wow, 30 sil. I'm up to 56 sil. Now I don't even have to worry about it fighting anything on the way there. I got enough sil to make almost anything I need. Oh my gosh, that was super, super good. I love these events. They're almost all so good. I haven't actually met one I didn't like. So right now, we're pretty much on easy street. 56 bucks. All right, put that back in here. And I believe that's really all the changes coming to what is happening during the new Game Found thing. Of course, they do also say they're going to have some surprises along the way when it comes to the actual Game Found crowdfunding when it actually happens. The only other one I know about that I want to talk about is when your character is defeated, it's pretty punishing. They're going to change what happens. One of the big changes is everything that's in your satchel will drop in the node that you die in. So you can go back and collect all of your things that you had lost from that last node that you were in. I think that's fantastic because dying can be brutal. I believe you're still going to lose all your sil. That is still going to be something that happens, but you do get to keep all your lucks. I think I said in the last video, lose your lucks. That's not true. You keep all your lucks. That's super lucky. So there we go. I think that's about everything. If you're interested in any of the new reprint stuff or all the things that are going to make this game better, I will put a link to the Game Found crowdfunding page in the description of this video, so please check it out. I might even try to put it up here, but I can't guarantee that. I'm usually not tech enough savvy to be able to do something like that. We are going to move up to our next node and draw our chip out of here and see what we find. We are going to find ourselves a level 1 enemy in node 97. 90 says that we have been ambushed by a plane strider. Now, of course, I could have exhausted an action cube from both of my characters to avoid this if I wanted to, but I think it's okay because we're after some of these resources, and it's always good to get some more Lux to help get our characters more powerful. Last time we fought a plane strider, I believe he was a little bit easier than this. This is a level 2 plane strider. We'll see how this goes. We're going to put his deck right there, and since he did ambush us, we are going to start by drawing a card. He has 10 health, 3 attack, and 2 defense. We'll draw it up here, and we have found one of the highest amount, one of the aggro. Neither of them abide by this because they both have 2 and they both have and then nobody has attacked him yet. So I'm going to be able to just choose. I'm going to have him attack Grigory. So he'll attack. He's going to do a lash tail. So he is going to use one of his action cubes to do 4 points of damage. He will exhaust 1 from the target. That is terrible, and he will end turn. Grigory with his 2 defense is going to only take 2 damage, but he is going to exhaust 1 of the action cubes, which is absolutely horrible. We'll start with Alec. Maybe he can get a cube over to our friend over there. That'd be huge. I get to draw 2 cubes out of this bag. I've got 1 sword and I've got a sword shield. That really is not good. Oh, I get to keep drawing because that is not a black chip. We have drawn until we get 2 black chips. Oh, that's perfect. All right. That's exactly what I needed. We're going to start by empowering. We're going to spend 1 and an action cube to empower, which I get to use the empower effect of 1 card. And that is going to be ally gains an action cube. So I'm going to go give this to Grigory. That's huge. He needed that badly. Then the next one I am going to do, I could either do this again to give myself a green action cube, and I am going to do that. I'm going to give myself a green action cube by using that ability there. So we've now used 2 actions. I have 1 left. I've got an attack right here. I'm going to use that as well to add 1 health to Alex's ally or an ally's bag. And I think at this point they're both at 17. But with Grigory usually getting the aggro token, I am going to give him this token into his bag. That's the end of his turn. We're going to put our cubes back up there, and we are going to put our chips into the exhaust. Well, I'm not going to put them there yet. We'll put them right there because that's what we did. I could have activated my Stonebound ability card, giving him the ability to attack for 3. He has 2 defense, so it only would have done 1 damage, but I do get 1 defense. Maybe that's worth it. Let's use that with Alec, which will bring our enemy down to 9 health and move over to his turn. I sometimes try to save that in case I can get the -1 onto our characters, but we're going to just draw some cards here and see, or chips, and see what happens. Now remember, I can only draw a number equal to the action points I have available right now, so it's still only 2. So let's draw up some tokens. I got +1 to my health. I'm going to go up to 19. That's fantastic. I love that chip. Let's keep drawing. I got a sword. Let's draw again. I have gotten ourselves a double sword, so we got 3 swords. Wow, what are we going to do with all these? All right, first off, let's see here. We got this chain attack. This is a new thing we have, which allows me to attack an enemy for +0. Maybe we can chain that somehow. I don't think we're able to chain that because all we got are a bunch of swords. But that's okay. I could turn these 2 into a shield if I wanted to, which means I could give myself +1 defense and add some shields to my bag if I wanted to, or I could just use it as an attack to give myself more swords to my bag to be able to activate, maybe potentially, well, that'll turn into his critical hit. I know this. Let's do this because I want to see, let's hit him first. So we're going to use our green cube to do that. We're going to exhaust, attack an enemy for +0. Oh, look at the chain effect. I can exhaust 1 of his action cubes. We're totally going to do that. We're going to chain this. So we're not going to do this first. We're going to do something else first. I think we are going to give myself +1 defense by turning those both into defense cubes, and I can add 1 defense chip to Grigory's bag. So we're going to do that. We're going to grab one of these and put it in there. Then we're going to activate this, being able to chain this to exhaust 1 action cube from my enemy. So he now only has 1 action cube. That's going to be huge. Oh my gosh. And I get to attack the enemy for +0. So with his +2 defense, he is only going to take 1. He'll go down to 8. Now he only has 1 action cube. This is kind of huge. Let's see what happens. It says here, self sprint, gain sprint. Cost 1, gain that thing right there. I think that's evasion, and draw 1 card. Okay, well, we'll use that. We are going to sprint by using this and he's going to gain one of those. So he'll be gaining an evasion chip is what this does. So the next time that I attempt to attack him, he is going to be able to evade that attack. But the interesting thing is that when you attack and somebody has an evasion chip, they also aren't going to take any of the detrimental effects of the attack. So my best bet right now is to actually try to have Alec attack, and that way he can do he'll just evade the attack, meaning Grigory can come in and just really attack him hard with all of his damage he can do. So I need to try to get rid of this particular card, or chip. So let's move into our next turn. So we're going to gain back all our action cubes. I should have gotten those before we gone there. I will exhaust my chips down here. This one gets discarded because it is a green chip, and I am going to flip the cards I used. I used this one and I used this one. So again, we might want to try to chain this one to gain another one. This one, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. We can refresh our cubes. This is going to be sweetness. I'm going to super love this card. All right, let's also work on Alec. Alec is going to put his cards into here. Now he does have to flip this one, but these do not flip. Remember, we do not flip any of his potions unless we decide to combine them, but I did not combine them. So at this point, he might want to try to attack him with this. Oh, it is +2. So my goal is just to maybe attack with my short sword and then drop some cubes on here, and hopefully something good happens. So let's reach into his bag and grab out some chips. He gets to get 3 chips if he has them in here. He's got a green chip, so he's going to go to 18 health. Put that there. Let's see what else he has. Another green chip. He's going to go to 19, and I think I only have 1 chip to attack with. Well, that's okay, because we said we wanted to attack to get rid of that evasion chip. Now, sadly, I forgot that that's all he had, so it would have maybe been good to remember that I didn't have any chips in there, and I could have took a health to be able to put these back in so that I could have drawn at least 3 chips. But that's okay. Alec had kind of a boring turn. We'll put those chips right here, and his turn is over. Totally fine. Like I said, though, I am going to attack him with this chip, meaning that, of course, we'll be removing this particular chip from our enemy. It is now Grigory's turn. He has 3 action points, so he does get to draw 3 chips out of his bag. Hopefully he gets some really good chips here. We got a shield. We got another shield. I love to see that. Then we got another shield. Look at this. And then we've got a shield. I got a lot of shields. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've only drawn 2 actual chips. I need at least 1 sword out of this thing. I got a heart. I'll take it. We'll grow up to 20 health on him as well. And come on, what's our last one? A sword. Okay. We have a sword. We only have 1 chip left in our bag, so we might want to take some damage next turn to get all this stuff back in our bag. But for now, we have to figure out what we're going to do about all 4 of these defense chips and this 1 attack chip that I have. Sadly, these were not the greatest draw I could have possibly had. I think what we're going to do is we are going to use these 2 and an action point to, while active, gain +2 defense. We are now at 4 defense, which is something we might need because I'm not going to be able to get rid of these action cubes this time. Then we have these 3 left. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to do Feint, which is going to add -1 to the enemy, so he now has -1 defense, and then I get to attack for +0 because I am chaining it. Now I could have chained it the other way to give myself another green cube, but I think we're okay on the cubes, and then the only one I have left is 1 shield that I can't use for anything. But at this point we are going to use our cross slash, and what I forgot to do over on Alex's board is I forgot to put that into its cooldown position. But we are going to hit him with cross slash. I forgot to do it last time, which actually is beneficial to me right now. So that's awesome. Let's see what we can do. We're going to do a normal attack here, and then our cross slash is going to be our attack +1. Sadly, I don't think we're going to get what we need to take him out, but he is going to get -1 defense, so he's at 1 defense. And the first attack coming through is going to be for 3, so he's going to take 2, 1, 2. His second attack is going to be for 4, -1 is 3. 1, 2, 3 is at 3 health. We are super close to taking him out. I do have to give the aggro token, which I forgot to in the last video, or the last attack, to Grigory. Grigory now has the aggro token. He's the last person to make an attack against the monster. Let's draw its card and see what it does. It is going to defense. That's fantastic. Self, defensive nature. It is going to spend 1 action cube to defend itself and gain 1 blue until the start of its next turn. Heal 3 and draw a card. I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. 1, 2, 3, and it even gets a blue cube in its defense slot, so now it has 3 defense. This is yucky. Let's see what we have here. And boy, I do have to, and that, oh, it ends its turn. Sorry, it ends its turn. Oh, well, all it did was heal itself and make itself almost impossible to kill. That's going to be absolutely sweetness. We'll start with Grigory, putting this on cooldown and putting all of these into its spot over here, and we're going to put these away. The green chips go away after they are used, which is sweet, but I need to get them back. That's going to be it for him. He still has 3 action cubes, which is pretty cool. Alec didn't use this, so that is still up and available for us to use. I'm going to grab our chips and put them back in our bag because Alex's bag is empty. So you get to put all the chips in there. And he's going to now draw 3 chips, and he's only got 4 in here. Come on, let's get some good chips. We got a default. Actually, I'm probably going to drop them all unless I don't draw the purple one. Let's see what we got. We didn't draw the purple one. Oh, if I'd have drawn the purple one, we got all our chips out of here. So instead, we got a defense and 2 swords. I think my best bet is just to start keeping our characters alive. I'm going to use 1 action cube and this to add a heart to. I'm going to give it to Grigory. Grigory is going to take a damage. He's still got 1 chip in there, so he's going to take a damage. So I want to give him that in case he needs that. Then I am going to use my defense chip to put an attack or defense into Alec or an ally's bag. I am going to put an attack into Grigory's bag. He's going to take 1 of these. Then I am going to use this to attack with. So I'm using all 3 of my action cubes, and this one allows me to attack an enemy for +2, or if both are active, using a primary or secondary. If I had done both of those, I'd be able to attack everybody for 2. I can't do that. So I'm only going to attack him for 2 + 2 is 4. Remember, he's got 3 defense right now. So our enemy is going to go down to 5 health, and I think, should I attack him with this? It's only do 3 damage, and it's going to do nothing. Nope, we're going to save that. We're going to save that probably for next turn. I forgot to flip over his cards. He used, I believe, take cover and faint last turn, so we're going to switch those up. I am going to take 1 damage to put all of these back into my bag, and I'm going to drop 3 chips. Hopefully they're going to be awesome chips. I like awesome chips. We found an attack. Come on, we need some good chips. I need good chips. A double attack. Okay, here we go again with all my attack chips. Oh boy. 3 attack chips again. That's awesome. It's not awesome. Wow, I'm getting the worst chip draws ever. Alrighty. We are going to, oh, wow, what are we even going to do with this? I think we'll just do, I don't know. I think we're going to try to at least help myself out a little bit. We're going to use a shield and a sword to give myself a +2 damage. I think we just need to bust through this guy's defense the best we can. And then the other one I'm going to use to just grab myself a sword to be able to put into my bag. So those are the chips we're going to take. Now I have to figure out which order I want to do these 2 in. I think I'm going to do this one first and then this one, so I can get even another one of these into my bag, because it does chain into another one. So we're going to grab those 3, put them into my bag, and that is all we're going to do with Grigory. Super fun. This guy is not going away. This goes away though. It's half the battle. Let's see what he's doing now. He is going to choose lowest health. The lowest health is actually going to be, they're both the same, and so that means Grigory gets the aggro token. He's going to do a quick strike, which is going to use 1 action cube, and it's going to do 2 damage extra. So it's going to do 5 damage to me. And then it's going to repeat quick strike until it's exhausted. Oh my gosh, he's going to do 10 damage to me. All right, so he's going to do 2, he's going to attack me for quick strike twice. That's going to hit me 5 twice, but I do get to subtract 2, so it's only hitting me 3 twice. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's out of control. I'm already at 13. I'm going to put these over into my exhausted pool. I'm going to flip these 2 cards. Hopefully I can get some good chips this time. I'm making my critical strike going. I also get to do my cross slash. And the big question is, do I take a damage here, bringing him to 718? I think I do. To be able to put these back into my bag, I do have to flip this because I used it. I need to probably do that because he doesn't have much, and he only has 1 chip left in his bag, and it's that purple chip. All right, we're gonna do Alec first. I always like to do Alec first. He always has some awesome things he can do. He can do that. I get to draw 3 of these. Let's see if I can, let's do, if you haven't do what I did last time. No, I got the purple chip this time. Oofta, okay. I got all 4 chips. All right, let's see what we can do with these. Hopefully we're now probably cooking with gas here. The first thing we're gonna do is use one of our defense cubes here to give myself the ability to empower this one right here. I'm going to put 1 of these into each of the characters' bags, and then I am going to use this to give myself 1 more that I can put into his bag or a ally's bag. I'm going to put it into Grigory's bag. He needs all the health he can get right now. I do have these 2 chips left. I think I'm then going to just use the 2 swords to become a shield. All right, actually, I don't have to use the 2 swords to become a shield. I can just use that as a shield here. And we can, now the interesting thing is I could have, instead of using this, I could have used my combine, because I am using 2 of these potions, and then being able to use combine, I could combine to make this something different. I can make the gold potion into a Twilight Waters. The next gear card for an enemy, draw the next card for any enemy. Why would I want to draw a card for an enemy? Draw the next card for the enemy. Empower, remove 1 negative chip from any ally's bag. All right, well, we're not going to do that. There's no reason to do that. We're going to keep that just like that. I'm just going to attack him for 2, even though it doesn't do anything. So that chip is worthless. But I am going to use this. I'm going to attack him for 1, 2, 3, meaning I'm going to be able to drop him down by 1, and I can add a sword or a shield to Alec or an ally's bag. And I'm going to pull a shield and put it into Grigory's bag. Wow, just loading him up this time. It's going to be awesome. And now I just have to hit him for 3, and I get +1 defense. I'm now at 2 defense. Hitting him for 3 drops him down to 4 health. This should be hopefully enough to finish him off. He doesn't have anything protecting himself anymore. I'm really actually hoping to draw some health chips out of here. We got a shield. There's one of my health chips. That's awesome. I am now at 14. I instantly take the health. Let's keep drawing. I've got a +1 to damage. Now I don't want to draw both of those. I'd like to keep at least one of them in there. I got another sword. That's awesome. Now remember, I only get 3 chips here. Oh, another health. I love that. I'm up to 15 health on my little track there. And we get to keep drawing. Let's see what we draw next. We drew our 3 chips, which is 2 shields and a sword. That actually is not going to probably be the best that I can do here. But we do have, well, here's what we got. Let's see what we can do. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to use these 2 as swords. This one as a sword, being able to use our critical strike here, being able to do 1, 2, plus this is 3. I think is how that works, to bring down a total of 3 points of damage. Or is this for just a normal attack? No, I think it's in the positive status thing, so it's going to be used for anything I think I use at attacks. So I'm going to attack an enemy for +2, +3, so that's a total of 6. Minus 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He is a dead strider. And if he's not, I could have attacked him with this as well, doing another 4 plus 1 is 5. Even if you couldn't use this chip, if you only use it for one thing, or you can only use it for the basic attack, it wouldn't have mattered. All this stuff is got enough to kill him. And I've kept my bag pretty loaded with some good chips, I hope. All right, let's see what we get. We've managed to kill our plain strider. That took a little bit. We got a little bit dinged up there. I did get 6 lux, which brings me up to 12, and I get a rough leather. And at this point, we are going to clear off our board. I do get to put all of these back into into Grigory's bag. I have to remove this one. This one goes back to the supply, and I gain all my action cubes are supposed to be up there, and this goes back to its normal slot there. Alec is also going to take all his stuff here and put them into his bag. We're going to grab our action cubes. Now, of course, I have to lose the green ones. The green ones I don't get to keep, and I'm going to put my thing back on cooldown along with that chip in there, and I do get a rough leather, so I'm going to give this to Alec. He now only has 1 spot left in his satchel, but that's okay. It is time to continue our march. We're moving on to node 90. We'll draw our chip and see what we got this time. We'll mix up a little bit, and I was able to grab, a compass chip. Fantastic. We'll put a purple cube onto that deck. I can also choose if I want to fight something. I'm going to choose not to. We're going to keep on moving to node number 91, and we'll draw a new chip out of our bag. Let's mix them up and see what we get this time. Shovel, 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 and we've got ourselves, another compass. That's actually fantastic. It's actually working out pretty good. So we'll go into our, again, I'm not going to fight anything. I just want to get to this town so that we can start getting the weapons and equipment we need. So we're going into Rosador. Here is the map of Rosador. We're going to be placed right up here. One last thing I want to mention is in the reprint, they are planning to make these a lot thicker, so they're not a piece of thick paper. They're going to be, I believe, a cardboard type material similar to the Fort Istra map, I think, of some kind, at least thick enough to be close to that. We'll put our character there, and then I really want to go to the blacksmith because I want to upgrade our characters. The first thing I want to do is upgrade to our Volk's blade, so it's going to cost us our captain's blade, which we have here, so we're going to be using that to be part of this crafting. We're going to get rid of 2 ore, so we're down to 2. We brought 4 with us. We're down to 2, and then I am going to use all 4 of my pine, so that is also now gone. And we now have to also spend 15 sil, which isn't going to be too bad. We're going to go down to 41 on our sil chart, so that's pretty good. and we'll put this into his slot. And this one is going to give him just the same as he did before, 1 sword for this weapon, but on the backside it's also going to give him +1 to attack, and it's still able to put in 1 soul or one of those rune stones. So Grigory's base attack is now 4. We're also going to grab ourselves a reinforced tunic here. This is going to cost me a guard tunic. It's also going to cost me the other 2 ore I have, so I am now out of ore. We have no more iron ore. We use 2 for the blade and 2 for this. I'm also going to have to use 4 metal fragments. So we're going to use all 4 of our metal fragments. Those are gone. And we do have to use 2 of our rough leather, bringing us to 3 rough leather in total. And so of all the stuff that we brought with us, we now are sitting at 3 rough leather and nothing else in our inventory. So it worked out okay. And it's also going to cost me 20 sil. So it's going to go from 40 to 21 sil. Not too bad. And now the debate as to who gets it, I think I'm going to give it to Alec. Alec is going to now have 2 defense. Now both of our characters have 2 defense. I think that'll be a lot better. Though I was really considering giving it to Grigory, giving him up to 3 defense, and hopefully standing tall against a lot of those enemies. Of course, going forward, I could potentially switch some of this. I believe you can change what you have between your guards as long as they can use them. So I could potentially give this over to Grigory once we see how things go. Maybe it would be a better plan. Of course, you can't change anything once you go into a particular story event. Now the last thing is an accessory. I don't have one for Alec yet, and I have 21 sil left. I could equip and add this, which gives us an evasion chip to enter into the event bag when you pull chips. And it acts as a compass if drawn. But I think for now, we're going to stick with trying to get another weapon and another set of armor. I think that's going to be our first plan. And of course, we also have those side quests we could attempt to tackle if we want to. Before we continue, I do want to mention that I did say this wrong. It doesn't give me the chip. It gives me the ability to pay 1 chip to add 0 to my attack. It gives me that. It shows me how to be able to use this as an attack. I think when I actually talked about this, when it said it gives me a chip, it doesn't give me a chip. So here we are in our town. There's nothing else to do there. I could pick up a bounty if I want, but they all looked pretty bad. They're all like at least 3-star enemies, and I barely took on a couple 2-star enemies. So we need to try to get the other 2 upgraded a little bit as well. And who knows, maybe the new sword might really help out. We're going to be, in order to upgrade the other 2 pieces, we need armor and a weapon. We need to get some more iron and some more pine. Pine is found here and here. Iron is found here and way up north. So we're not going to be going up there. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4 to get it here, or we go 1, 2, 3 to here. Now the interesting thing is we're eventually going to want to go this way over to that point there, and we could go through here. I think you can go through this node even though you're not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that way, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it is faster to go that way. So we are going to go out and go to 91 and continue up and around. So let's grab our chips, shuffle them up here, and see what we have found. We have found another compass. That's awesome. And also remember, there is a side quest we wanted to over in Rubia. On their way, we could maybe get that and then go back across this way. Maybe that's what we'll do, because there is a side quest here. There's also, I believe, a side quest in Stofa, and the other side quest is actually off over this way, another town way over there. So we're not gonna do that. But we found a compass. Let's check it out. We'll put another purple cube here, and because I can't stop doing these because these are awesome and they have never failed me yet, I am going to do another one of these quests. Let's see what it says here. It says, you can't shake the feeling that you're being followed. Every time you turn around, you catch something moving from behind, from the corner of your eye. Choose a path. Try to shake loose whoever is on your trail, or stand and fight. Well, we just got a new sword. Let's try our sword. And it says here, option 2, it says you hold your position. Eventually a well-armed soldier emerges from the shadows. I've been tracking you for days, he admits. It's time to put an end to this. He draws his sword and puts up a lengthy fight before again retreating into the shadows. Add 3 -1 attack chips to both guards' bags. That's terrible. But I do get 20 lux. Oh, that's awesome. So I can power up my guys even more. So we now have 32 lux. I should probably use that. We'll discard these cubes. They're all used. And now we go up to 32 lux. That's definitely something I should use. And of course, I do have to add 3 of these to both of our guards' bags. That's absolutely, that's Oh, if there's ever a time to say barf, that's the time right there. Barf. We have 32 Lux Essence. You can tell me what you think about this plan. Please leave in the comments below if you think this is the best idea you've ever heard of, or if you think you would have wanted probably me to do something different. I am going to give myself 2 more chips. I'm going to go down this area here to pick up the Azure Solution. What this does is I can spend a sword and a shield and 2 action cubes to remove all blue from all enemies. Those blue cubes have been the bane of my existence since I started playing. So we now have an ability to be able to take care of it. Also, if we ever want to try to combine this, we can flip this over and it adds 2 -1s to 1 enemy. So you'd be able to really knock somebody out. We can empower this so all enemies lose 2 health for each purple chip down them. I haven't seen too many purple chips on the enemies. Or we can also empower this one to add +2 Alex's allies or an ally's bag, these +2 defense chips. So that'll be fantastic. We're going to give both of these to his bag, and then we are going to put this onto his board. Alec is now full up on his board here. If you ever got another potion or another ability of some kind, I would have to choose to remove one if I wanted to, or else I would have to slot that behind the things that he has unlocked, and at some point I could maybe switch them out, of course, except if I'm in a narrative situation. Was that the best use of 30 Lux? Only time will tell. We are going to go to our next node and draw a chip from our bag. We'll mix these all up and see what we have found. We found ourselves a 2 skull chip. Now again, using the new rules, I could choose to use one of my action points to get rid of this, but I think we're going to be okay. Let's check out what 92 is. I found myself a Full Moon Scout and a Timber Wolf. The first enemy we have to deal with is this wolf. He might be priority 1. Now these are in slots 1 and 2, so I can attack either one I want. They're not in 3 or 4, which would be up above. This one does 3 damage, but only has 1 defense and 10 health. Hopefully I can take this guy out pretty quick. It has 3 action cubes, so, oh man, if I could have, too bad I can't do enough damage to kill it in one shot. That'd be the best possible solution, because this thing's going to be brutal. This guy's not much better, but he only has 1 action, and he has 11 health, 3 defense, and 3 attack. Now, of course, I don't know what these decks do. That's going to be the big trick. We'll start with Alec here, and of course, remember, I've got those negative red chips in here, which are going to be absolutely sweetness as well. We've got a health chip. That's fantastic. I go to 19. Let's keep drawing out of this bag. Maybe we'll get some other good stuff here. Well, we got -1 chip. That's awesome. He's probably not going to hit anything anyway. We got the sword and shield. That's going to be sweet. It'll be awesome. And then we also got a sword, and I keep on drawing until I get 2 black chips. I got another black chip, which is our shield here. Let's see here. We've got 3 chips we can use. This one I've already used. I'm just going to get rid of it now, even though I should wait till the end. And then I have this -1 chip, so I'm going to put that right there. At this point, I'm going to empower. I'm going to give a green action cube to an ally. So that is now going to be Grigory's. Then I am going to, that's my first action. My first action. My second action is I am going to use this to give myself a green action cube myself. So we'll give myself a green action cube, which I'll use right here to give Grigory another red health chip because he got totally banged up. I'm not going to use my Stonebound ability yet because with this -1 chip, I'm doing almost no damage to anything. Now, of course, one thing I could have done is these 2, and then I could have used this to flip one of these 2 to the other side. I could have flip up to 2 non-active cards, empower, add 2 to an ally's bag if I wanted to, flip 2 non-active potion cards. Oh, interesting. I can actually just flip more potions. That's pretty cool. Or, of course, like we've looked at this one, I think, before, I could give negative to some enemies if I wanted to. But we're going to keep them as is. I think we're okay. Maybe part of my downfall is I'm not taking advantage of the combine the way I should, but I think really getting those cubes is going to be good. Grigory here, I do have some of these cards I have to put back to their primary side. I forgot to do that when we refreshed our last character. I may have made a note in the video. If I didn't, just know I didn't miss it. We're going to draw into here. I get 3 of these chips. There's a lot of chips in these bags. Let's start with this one. It's a heart chip. That's awesome. I go to 16 health. We're going to keep drawing. Let's see what our next chip is. We got another heart chip. I am now at 17 health. Oh man, I love you, Alec, for putting those in my bag. Let's see what else I found. I found myself a sword. That's one of my 3 chips I can draw. I found a double sword. That's great. I was really hoping for, I need some other things now. And a shield. Those are my 3 action cubes. I was really hoping for some green ones. Well, I didn't get any of the negative cubes, so that's actually pretty good. I did use these, so I'm just going to get rid of these now so I don't forget. Now I have to figure out what we're going to do with those chips. I think what we're going to do is we are going to use this and one of our action cubes to attack an enemy for 0, doing 4 damage. We're going to hit the wolf, so it's going to do 3 damage to the wolf. The wolf is going to go down to 7 health because he still has 1 defense, but not for long. I am going to use this. I'm going to use this as a sword, but I'm wasting it a little bit, to add negative to an enemy and doing attack for +1. Oh, maybe I might not even need to do that. I could hit him for another 4 with this by itself, bringing him down to 1, 2, 3, bringing him down to 4 just on its own. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to use this to just use my Volk blade to attack with. And that's going to do 4 damage again, -1. That'll bring him down 1, 2, 3. The final thing I'm going to do is this. I will use my cross slash, which is going to do attack all enemies for +1. So I do a total of 5 damage with this. Now with my new sword, I'm really digging my new sword. So that's going to be 4 damage. My wolf is dead. That's super awesome. It still leaves me with a defense chip that I can use. And on top of that, that cross slash does hit the other character. Now, of course, the other character does have 3 defense. So it's only going to do a total of 1, 2, I think. Yep, 2 to him, so he's down to 9. And with my final defense chip, I can put it here for 1 action to be able to activate +1 defense. I now have 3 defense on this guy, and I can add 1 to Grigory's bag and chain to add a defense to another bag. And now that I think about it, why don't I do it in this order? We're going to do this card first. That's going to allow me to just give me the +1 and add 1 defense chip to Grigory's bag. This is what I'm going to do. Then we're going to do this right here, which is going to attack an enemy for 1, and it's going to exhaust 1 from the target. Oh, I think that would have to be the wolf anyway, so I don't think that's going to matter. So we are going to chain this one. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know, but I believe this would actually target the person that I'm attacking, and so technically the wolf's going to die, so it's not going to matter if I'm able to get rid of his action cubes. So we are going to add this to add 1 to Grigory's bag, and then I can do this to add 1 more. So we now are going to add another one of these chips to Grigory's bag. That'll be absolutely awesome. And that's going to be it. Now we're done with our character. That was fantastic. I have used this. We'll put that right there, and we're done. I'm super excited that our wolf is dead. We are going to be able to gain a wolf, or no, not wolf pelt, bone fragments and 4 lux. That's pretty good. Now we get to see what this guy's going to do. He only has 1 action cube, hopefully not too much. Lowest health, or the aggro token. Now the lowest health is still going to be Grigory, and he is going to use his 1 action cube to do an arrow volley with +2. If the attack deals damage, I draw 1 card. That is going to end my turn. That will do damage. It is going to do a total of 3, 4, 5 damage. I do have 3 defense, so I'm going to take 2 damage, and the 2 damage is going to drop me down to 15 health. At this point, I do have to draw a card. That did do his action, though. Hopefully this does. Hopefully I have to do something here, too. He's going to attack somebody with the highest defense, and he's going to do attack. Critical shot, 2 action points. Attack target, volley arrow, 1 action. Nope, nothing. He's not going to do anything. That's going to end his turn because he only has 1 action cube. It's kind of weird. We're going to clean everything up. These would go up here. Now, I know these are not supposed to be on the cards, but for filming purposes, that is the reason I do it. These are going to go into the exhausted area, and this is going to get removed. Not like that at all. And let's go over and get him ready as well. We'll exhaust these tokens, exhaust that power, and we'll bring our action cubes back up there, and then we have to flip these 2 cards to the other side, just like that. Now, sadly, this guy has 3 defense, so we'll see what we can do. We're going to draw some cubes for Alec. I like him to go first. We got ourselves a defense chip. We'll put that right here. Let's see what else we have found ourselves. Hopefully some more of those negative chips. Nope, we found one of those. I could draw 3 out of here, though. We found a -1 chip. I kind of want to get these out of my bag. Another -1 chip. Okay, the negative ones are all gone, and then we have another shield token. So he's probably not going to attack this round, but he might just put token or chips into people's bags. Let's see what he's got. He's got defense, a sword, and another defense chip, and then these yucky chips. They're going to go right there. So with the 2 defense, I could make one of them, I could just use a defense here, and then add 1 to Alex or an ally's bag. I like that. And this one here to add 1 to Alec or an ally's bag. I like that. And this defense chip I think is just going to, I could use it right here. So, I had to flip this because I used that. I'm sorry. I should have flipped that. That's my fault. I can't use that here. totally fine. We're just going to use these two to add some chips to our friend's bag. I'm going to give this one to Grigory there. And I think I'm going to add a shield to an ally's bag. So I'm going to grab a green chip and add a shield to an ally's bag. That's the end for him. And it's good because he has no chips. I don't want him to have any chips. That's my plan. Meanwhile, at Chip Hoarder Paradise here, I mean, he's got a mountain of chips. You probably can't see them all in there, but it's just an absolute mess of chips. Let's see what we get here. We're going to draw, I'm sure I'm going to draw some of those red chips. Now I got +1 attack. That helps me a lot. Hopefully I don't get any of those negative ones now. Just all pluses would be great. I got a shield, or a sword, I'm sorry. I got a sword chip. I got a shield chip. Let's see what else I get out of here. There's my -1. All right, let's see what else I get. A shield. Okay, that's my first chip that I've actually drawn. And I get to draw 3. Let's see how many more I get here. Another shield chip. I'm going to draw my entire bag, I bet. I don't actually know what I have in here. Oh, another sword. Let's see what else we get. Here's another -1. That's awesome. We can't do anything about that. Here's another sword. Was that my third or was that my second? That's only my second chip. All right, let's see what else. Now, there's 3 of those red ones in there, so I'm going to draw the other red one. Oh, okay, good. We stopped. We got -2. Now, the thing is, I have 2 -2s, but I do have a +1 in here. Here's the +1. So these two are going to cancel out. So what I'm going to do, just to make things easier, I'm just going to discard both of those. So I'm sitting here still at -1, and I've got a boatload of chips that I got to figure out what I'm going to use them for. I've got 1, 2, 3 swords and 4 swords and 3 shields. Wow, do I even have the action cubes to use all these? I've got a lot of things I want to do, but I don't think any of them are going to be any good. I'm going to feint is one of the things we're going to do. We're going to figure out what order to do these in just a second, because I do want to change some of this stuff. I think we're going to use these to take cover to give myself 2. Then I guess I'll put 1 here to do that. And then the other one I'm going to just use as an attack. And then I have an extra green chip that I'm probably not going to be able to use. So I'll just put that there and discard it when I get to my turn. All right, which one of these do we want to chain? I think I want to chain this because I can get an attack on here. Do I want more swords in my bag? It's probably not a bad idea. Now, or do I want the green action cube? It's a tough choice. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this one first to give myself 4 defense. Then I'm going to chain into this and chain this one as well. So we're going to add 2 swords to Grigory's bag, and then we're going to get this so the enemy is -1, and then we're going to attack him. And then the last thing we do is we're going to attack him. Now remember, we still have this. So this is actually going to cancel this out as well. So those are canceled out because this is going to give -1 defense to the enemy. So the enemy still has technically 3 defense once all this calculates out. So I do 4 damage and 4 damage, so I actually only did 2 damage. That will drop this character down to 7. It's going to be his turn. Let's see what he's got. It says here, choose 1 lowest health. That again is going to be Grigory. He's at 7 there. I knocked that off. He is going to attack with another arrow volley. That's awesome. I'm going to draw another card. He's used his attack. And then this is going to be self-focus. Gain 2 green cubes. Uh-oh. Here we go. This is where it's going to start getting messy. All right. We're going to put 2 green cubes right here. Then it says, if Speaking Stone is active, draw 1 card. I did not activate a Speaking Stone. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Okay, but he now has 3 cubes. That's terrible. Oofda. And remember, I'm going to have to have taken 5 damage from this attack here, minus my defense. Lucky for me, 5 minus 4 is 1. We've got a lot to clean up for Grigory. He's going to get rid of his green and red chips here. And at this point, I'm going to put these into my discard area. I don't think I have any chips in there I can even draw that are black. Meanwhile, over here, we'll put these into the discard area. These go back up here, and I have to... No, I keep that just like that. I do have to get rid of these 2 things, thank goodness. Ugh. I did forget to reset my rune ability here, and I have to flip all 3 of these cards to the other side. Hopefully I can do some of these. Oh, maybe I should have taken the green cube in order to do both of those. We'll start with Alec. He has nothing in his bag, so we'll drop those back in, give him a good old truffle shake here. Draw out some cubes. We got 1. I like that one. We got 2, and our last one is going to be that one. Oh, wow. I didn't even get the sword to be able to attack with. But, okay, he's got 3 defense again. So I could attack here with 2, 3, 4 damage. Minus 3 is 1, and 2 minus 1 is 3. Do I have a way of knocking this guy's defense down? No, I don't. Oh my gosh, this guy's brutal. All right, let's see here. What are we going to do? Well, I've got 2 shields, which means I could put something in somebody's bag, which is awesome. I could gain another green cube if I wanted to. That's not helping me much. Or I could activate this. I think we're going to activate that. And I've got a shield left. I can't do anything with that shield. That shield's no good. Oh, what about this one? Remove all defense from the enemy. Well, sadly, he doesn't have any blue cubes. He just has a straight 3 blue straight 3 defense. That's just nuts. All right, I guess that's about it. Is there anything I can do over here? I can empower this to add chips to Alex or an ally's bag. I can't empower because that's still on the wrong side. So yes, we're just going to do this. I'm going to add a token to Grigory's bag because he's always the one that's hurt. I think that's our best bet. Then I'm also going to add a token to his bag from this as well. And I'm going to choose a +1 to his sword. And I'm going to give that to an ally's bag. Or should I give it to his own bag? Oh no, I think it'll be okay. I'll give it to his bag. That'll be just fine. I'll give it to Grigory's bag. I'm not going to activate my Speaking Stone again because I'm not going to do any damage with it. I get +1. I can do 3 damage. That's not going to help at all. So we'll put these into the, well, I can't put them in there yet. We'll put them where they are, and this guy's going to go on the exhausted though. Grigory's going to go down to 13 health so that he can put these back into his bag. I don't think he has any black chips that he can even draw. So we're going to put those into there. But he's got a ton of green ones, which isn't bad. We're going to shuffle these up. We're going to draw 3 chips out of this bag. Let's see, we got a green sword. Hopefully I don't draw that red one. That red one will be really bad. There's 1 chip. Let's see what else we get here. Wouldn't mind seeing some, oh no, I need some defense. Come on. Oh, there's a health chip. I like that one. That's going to go to 14. Let's keep drawing. And we got ourselves sword galore. There we go. Sword galore. What am I going to do with all my swords? I guess I'll stab him with one of them probably. Let's see what else we can do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start up here. I'm going to do critical strike for 2. Now I could draw 2 more chips from his bag as a chain, but I only have 1 more action cube because I should have actually been using some of those for action cubes. We're going to use that for that, and that's going to chain. So I'll grab 2 shields. I can add 1 and then add another one for the chain to his bag. Then I've got 1 sword left. I'm going to attack with that sword, and I've already used that, so I'm going to put that away. And then I am going to activate my cross slash again. So I'm going to do a total of 2 plus 4 is 6 with my critical strike. Minus 3 is 3. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to do 4 plus 1 for my cross slash, which is going to be 4 plus 1 is 4. Let's see here. 4 plus 1 is 5. So I'm going to minus 3 is 2. 1, 2. You're going to be kidding me. He's going to have 1 health because my last attack is for 4 plus minus his 3 is he's at 1 health really. And I didn't have any way I could have done the 1 health. Probably could have. I can't figure out where. But now he's got 3 cubes he's going to be able to use here. So here we go. Oh my gosh. He's going to heal himself. Self. Bandage. 3. So he's going to use an action cube to heal himself 3. 1, 2, 3. Then he's going to preparation. He's going to use 1 to give himself a blue cube, which is good that I've got that 1 thing. I can get rid of these because that's 4 defense. And that's the end of turn. Okay, well, he healed himself for 3, and that's the end of his turn. We'll start with Grigory. He's going to put these into the exhausted section here, and this one gets discarded. We're going to put our Runebound into there, and we're going to flip over these 2 cards to the other side and see what we can do with him. But before we do that, we are going to exhaust these chips, and he is going to get a shot at redemption here. Maybe he can do something to this guy. We're going to draw 3 chips. I think he only has 3 chips in here. 2, and then his last one, there you go, 3 chips. Okay, 2 swords and a shield. Okay, a sword and shield's real good. Don't even care. Don't even care what that does. I am going to get rid of that. We have removed the blue cube from him. That is not remove all blue cubes from the enemies. And then we're going to have 1 sword left. Maybe I'll just hit him. Hit him with Remy's blade here. I've used 1, so that means it's going to get +2. So that's 2 plus 2 is 4, minus 1 is minus 1 or minus 3 is 1. 1 damage. Perfect. Got 1 through. All I need to do is get 2 more or 3 more through. And again, this doesn't do me any good because he's got 3 defense. Come on, Grigory. Let's knock this guy out. Let's draw some chips. If you draw that red chip, we're in big trouble here. 1, 2. I should draw. Actually drew 2 at the same time. And there's a green one. I get 1 more chip here. Let's see what we got. We got 3. 2 swords and 1 sword and 2 shields. Oh no, we got what? 2 swords and 2 shields. And with the abilities I have up right now, I can't take him out. Oh man. Okay. We've got 2 shields and 2 swords though. So I guess we'll set ourselves up for the next round. I'm going to put 1 there and 1 here, and this one's going to go here because I'm not going to be able to use it. I'm going to add 1 to Grigory's bag. I'm going to give him a sword. He's totally happy with that. And then at this point, I am also going to give myself 2 of these chips to Grigory's bag. He's got 2 +1 chips. We're going to add those to his bag because I'm going to chain that. And that's the end of his turn. Now that, of course, did cost me all 3 of my action cubes. And sadly, I did absolutely no damage to him. Hopefully, I can set him up for next turn. This guy is just bonkers. I just can't get him with that 3 defense. Let's see what this one says. Fulman's Scout. Highest attack. Aggro. Well, his attack is 4, so he's going to go after Grigory. Leg shot, 1. It's going to cost him 1 action point. He's still got 2 left. +2 to attack. He's got 5 damage coming at me. If attack deals damage, I have to add a -1 to my target's bag. Sweet. End of turn. And 5 - 2 is 3. 1, 2, 3. I didn't give myself any defense last turn. And I was sitting on 2 defense chips right here. I had 2 defense chips and I didn't even use them. Oh well. Let's get rid of these chips. They're going to go here. And this is going to go over to the other side. That's my sword chip. And I get to at least get my rune bound ability back. I can do a total of 5 damage. -3 is 2. It's pretty much going to take him out. I just got to make sure I don't draw that red chip. Oh, and I have to add another one to his bag because I got hit in the leg. So I got -1 chip. And I do have to flip these 2 cards to the other side. So maybe I can do enough to kill him. Meanwhile, Alec is going to put these over here. He's going to put those in the slot over there, and that's it. He doesn't have any chips in his bag though, so he's going to put all these back in there, give him a good old truffle shake here, and draw out 3 chips. He got 1. Let's see, his next one is 2, and his last one is going to be right here. It is 3. And I attacked him with this last turn, so I have to flip this over because now I can combine again, which might not be bad because I'm going to combine, I'm going to empower that one and then use it. I'm going to give Grigory 2 chips. I get to add 1 to Alex or an ally's bag, and then I get to add 1 to both bags. So these guys are going to get, all these guys are going to get happy health chips. They love happy health chips. There we go. Then I've got this one. I can gain a thing there, and then I have to empower here though. That I have to use to empower. Then I'm going to use that one. Then I can gain 1 more red action cube. What am I going to do with that? Let's use this. Let's put this over here. Let's add a defense token or a attack token to an ally's bag. Let's add a defense token to Grigory's bag, just powering him up all the chance I can do. And that's going to cost me 1, 2, 3 action cubes. We're all done with those. That's the end of his turn. Grigory, again, does not have any black chips in his bag, so I'd be drawing every single thing out of my bag, and it's probably not all going to be the greatest. I just overkill something. So I'm going to take the damage to put those back in there, bringing me to 10 health. I do have a healing potion if I ever need to use it, which is going to give me 5 health. And at some point, we'll probably stop by a city where I could buy another one if I want to. But we've got a massive bag of chips here. We're going to shuffle these up here, and we're going to start drawing. Hopefully we get some stuff here. 1 sword. That's awesome. Let's see what else we got. Another shield. Let's see, another chip right here is a shield. See, here we go. This is what I needed. I need a lot of these things to come flying out here. Oh, I got a health chip. I'm going to put that back and give myself back up to 11 health. That's awesome. Keep drawing here. We're going to draw our next chip, which is going to be another health chip. Love it. We're going to get up to 12 points. That's fantastic. Let's draw another chip here. We've got our first chip we've drawn. Let's keep drawing. We've got a +1 to damage. That's fantastic. Oh, we're going to get 1 damage. Barf. Let's keep going here. There's a second one. And I can draw 1 more black chip and we'll be done here. Oh, I got another +1. Good. This guy's finally, I think, going to be dead. All right, there we go. A shield. Okay. This is what I was hoping for before. Now, these 2 are going to cancel each other out, so I'm just going to discard those 2 chips. Now, normally, there might be things in the game that would prevent me from being able to do that, but just for the ease of recording, that is what I'm going to do. I still get +1 to attack, and now I have all these chips I can use. 2 of them I know are going to go there, and then let's see if there's anything else I can do to help myself out. I'm going to do that one there. And then I can use both of these to be a sword, and I think this guy's really, really dead finally. This is going to cost me 2, and that's 1. So first I'm going to do this, which is going to lower his armor. Then I'm going to hit him for 4, 5, 6 damage. He's dead. Super dead. He put up a valiant effort, but he's finally going to take a ton of damage. Actually, that round alone probably would have killed him if he had full. So I'm going to get 6 + 4 is 10 lux, 5 sil, and a bone fragment. Now I have to clean all this up. All of these are going to go into the discard area here. Then on top of that, I am going to give myself, I have to get rid of this cube, and these are going to go back into his bag. His bag is still pretty mighty. Now you can always look at what's in your bag. I mean, he's still got a ton of stuff in his bag here, which is kind of cool. That he can keep bringing this around wherever he goes. I think that's pretty awesome. Meanwhile, Alec is just going to grab his 3 chips that he used here and put them back in his bag, and he is all set to go. I do get a bone fragment. We'll put that right there, and I have to discard my green cube. With our 12 lux, we're going to use it. I'm going to go down to 2 again, And at this point, I am going to start working on Grigory here. And I'm going to make sure I print this out for everybody to see next time. I don't have it printed out right now because right now we've gone up here to grab this one. We've grabbed this one and flank. And now I think I want to move either to adjusted stance or meditate. And I think I'm going to go to adjusted stance. So that's going to give me another attack chip that I'm going to throw into his bag. And if we get 20 more, I'll be able to get to my adjusted stance. That fight also netted us 5 more sills, so we're up to 26 sill. Let's continue our adventure after that combat. I am going to move up to 86 with my characters, and at this point we can perform a harvesting, which as long as we have this in our satchel, we can harvest our wood from here. And you're going to match that with what is indicated in the book. Since we are on node 86, we can harvest either pine or rosewood. Now remember, we're after some pine at this point, so I am going to harvest for pine. And when you do, you are going to be able to gain the maximum you possibly can. You don't just keep going mining or harvesting and getting one each time. No, you just straight up get the 4. You're good to go. Put that into one of your character's satchels. I'll put that into Alex's satchel, and you continue on. Now, I think you can also harvest this if you want to, since you're in the same node, but I have no need for rosewood right now, and I don't have a lot of space in my satchels. I only have 3 slots left. At this point, we have a few options. One of them, we can go to Ribia and make a side quest. I can go there and try to track down one of those side quests. It's 1, 2, 3 away. Or I could go to Mir and potentially, which will get me closer to my Caravan quest, which is right up here, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 away. And this is 1, 2, 3 away plus 4, 5. It actually is only 1 more to go to Rubia first to get our side quest before we move over to Mir. And I think we're going to do that. Now, the only problem is now I remembered, I can't have a side quest active when I do the Caravan quest. So let's just go on to Mir. We're not going to go over to Ribia. We're going to continue on to Mir. So we're going to go to 92 again. We're going to draw out our token and see what we get. Let's shuffle these up here and see what we have pulled out. We pulled out a 1 skull. 92 is just going to be 1 scout. Hopefully it won't be too tough because it doesn't have his Timberwolf buddy with him. We've seen this guy before. 11 health, 3 attack, and also 3 defense. I always like starting with Alec first. He's super good. We're going to draw out 3 chips here, and we only get 2 chips. Sorry, 1 and 2. Okay, we got 2 chips. We got our combine, which we can do, and we're going to do that. We're going to drop health tokens all over the place because I love health chips. So we're going to put 1 in each bag, and then we're going to put 2 in Grigory's bag because he's at 12 health, and Alec is at 19. Before we go on to his Grigory's turn, I'm going to remove these 2 chips, one from Alec's bag and one from Grigory's bag. I don't want to empower the health chip. I want to gain that extra green cube instead. So I am actually going to empower this one off of Alex's board instead. So we have 3 tokens. We can draw 3 chips out of his bag and hopefully do some massive damage to him. 1 chip. We also have 2 chips. Okay, there are a lot of chips in here, and they're not all black. Okay, there we go. There's some green chips. We like green chips. All right, more green chips. Okay, now we can stop drawing the green chips. Oh boy. Okay, we got lots of green chips coming our way now. Okay, here we go. We got 3 chips. We got actually 3 swords, it looks like, and 3 of our shields as well. Now, before we continue here, I do have to put all of my abilities at primary. I have a tendency to forget that, but that's okay. We'll flip them just like that. Excellent. And at this point, we now need to hopefully do a ton of damage to him as fast as we can. What we'll do is we'll give ourselves an extra defense. So we'll put a blue cube up on our defense slot, giving us a total of 3 defense at this point. Then we are going to use this one here to give our enemy -1 and attack him for 1. Then we are going to flank him here, which is going to also allow me to attack him for +0 and exhaust 1 cube from the target. He only has 1 cube, so exhausting that 1 cube means he has absolutely no actions he can do in theory. Then we have 2 chips left. I'm just going to attack him for 1 chip, and this one's going to be not used for anything. All right, so we're making 1, 2, 3 attacks, and he has -1 defense to these attacks. With the -1 defense chip, I'm just going to try to remember he has 2 there. So I do a total of 4 every time I hit him. So 4 minus 2 is 2, so he's going to take 1, 2. Then he's going to take another 1, 2, and then he's take another 1, 2, and then I'm going to use my cross slash, which is going to do 5 damage minus 2 is going to be 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, he's at 1 health. Wow, I almost almost got him in one shot. That makes me so sad. And of course, the one thing I've been forgetting that people have probably been yelling at the screen is I could redraw any of my token or my chips as I want to. Once per turn, you may mulligan one draw. I've totally been forgetting I have that. So, oh well, that's okay. I think that's sadly the end of my turn. I can't do enough to take him down. We really have to get a new weapon for Alec because he can only do 2 damage. All right, we'll draw a card. Hopefully it's not that I heal myself. It's highest defense. He is going to critical shot. It's going to cost him 2, 1, nothing. He can't do anything because he has absolutely no action cubes at all because I knocked down his action cubes. That was awesome. We'll clean up our board and get rid of all of our green chips that we have here. And I was supposed to put a green chip into his bag, so I'm going to put this green chip into Alex's bag. I totally missed that. We'll put it right in there like that. And then these 3 are going to go into my exhausted pile, and our action cubes are never supposed to be on the board like that. I just do that so everybody can see what I'm doing. We're going to switch flank, we're going to switch to preparation, and we're also going to switch this one to take cover. I also have to put this in the cooldown slot because we did use it. Alec is just going to clear his board here and flip this card. He's going to go first. Hopefully he can just take this guy out and I won't have to worry about him anymore. He's got his sword card, or sword. He's got a heart. He gets to heal 1. That's awesome. He's back to full health. He's at 20 health. That's amazing. Love it. And then we've got a shield token here as well. Those are the 2 that I drew. And I do need the sword here, sadly, to do that. And I do need to use another thing to make this happen because I want to take this guy out and I'm going to use him to do it. I get to add, or I could do this and just let Grigory do it, but he's going to draw a ton of chips out of his bag, and he doesn't have many black ones left, and he's got a lot of green ones that I want to keep in there. So I think it is best just to kill him. We're going to do this. It's going to attack an enemy with +2, so he is actually hitting him for 4. He has 3 defense, so I am going to do 1 damage. But before I do that, I am going to do this. Add a sword or shield to Alex or an ally's bag. And I'm going to add a sword chip to Grigory's bag. And that 1 damage will be enough. He does a total of 2 + 2 is 4, -3 is 1. He is dead. I'm going to get my 5 Syl and my 6 Lux, bringing our Syl to 31 and our Lux up to, it's at 2, so it's going to go to 8. Wow, I have to admit, you really get a lot of Lux once you get to this level 2 area. This is actually really good just to keep getting experience and power up our guys. This is really fun. There's not much to clean up on our boards except just to put all the chips that we have back into our bag and remove our green chip from our buddy Grigory. We'll move back to node 91 and we'll shake up our bag here and see if we get a, hopefully not another combat, but we got a level 2 combat. The 2 skull chip is a double Kingsguard combat, and again, I could use my ability to use one of my action cubes to not, but again, we're trying to kind of gain some resources and things of that matter, and I don't know what the Kingsguard give us. We'll have to check. Now, I have been writing down and keeping track of some of the other monsters, so I know exactly kind of what we're getting as we continue through. So I knew when I fought that scout, I'd get 6 Lux and 5 Syl, so I didn't have any problem fighting him. Now let's fight these Kingsguards, figure out what they give us, and we'll know in the future if it's worth actually taking them on. I'll show you one of the Kingsguards since they are exactly the same. We have 11 health, 2 attack, and 3 defense. The 3 defense is always brutal when I have to fight these guys because poor Alec only has 2 attack. He does have a deck of cards. I'll see how this goes. 3 action cubes. Oh boy. And they get to go against us first. So I'm going to draw the card from him. And there's another one on the other side. I'll draw his card as well and show it to you. And we'll figure out how this is all going to play out. Our first card is going to choose the person with the highest attack. That's going to be Alec. Or not, sorry. That's going to be Grigory. He's going to shield bash him for 2. So he's going to use 2 action cubes to shield bash, which is going to do +2 damage. So he's going to do a total of 4 damage to him. And then he's going to choose target all enemies. And then he's going to attack the target with a spinning barrage for 2 cubes. He can't do that. He doesn't have 2 cubes. So the only thing he's going to do this combat is shield bash me for 4 damage. I do have 2 defense, so I'm only going to take 2. That does bring me down to 10 health. We'll draw the card from the other side as well, even though I'm on this board, just for filming purposes makes this easier. We're going to choose a target, another Kingsguard. If he has less than 5 rally for 2, all Kingsguard gain a cube. That is not true. Nobody has less than 5. Then we're going to choose self. If he has less than 5, he's going to regroup with 1, heal 1, and draw 1 card. He, of course, does not have less than 5, so I believe that's just going to end his turn. He's not going to do anything because neither of these guys have less than 5 hit points. But just to know that there is a less than 5 card in there, I'll want to make sure I keep them at least 6 health and make sure if I do take them down, I'm taking them all the way to the end. That wasn't too bad of a first round since we got ambushed. I am going to start with Alex here. He's going to draw 2 tokens out of here. I'm really hoping I can get my combine going here. We did. We got 2 tokens. One of them is going to be our combine, and we're going to start again the same way we always do, which I think is just great. I'm going to give Grigory that +1. We're going to combine this one for an ally to gain an action cube. Then we're going to add 1 to Alex or an ally's bag, and we're of course going to add this to Grigory's bag because he only has 10 health. At this point, I can draw out 3 chips here from my bag. Let's see what we have managed to get. We got ourselves a heart chip. That's awesome. I am back to 11 health. We'll continue drawing and see what our next chip is. It is a shield chip. All right, just keep on going here. A sword. I can only draw 3 chips out of this bag. Oh no, a -1. That's pukey. And then we got a shield. So we might just be activating some of our cards to give ourselves shields and things of that nature because I'm not going to be able to do too much damage. I do have to flip these back to their primary. I always forget to do that, but at least remember when we go into our next combat. This has been used. I'm going to get rid of that chip, and then we got 3 chips and a pukey chip right there. I think all we're going to do is we're just going to activate these 2 abilities here and ditch this chip into the pile here. I think that's my best bet. We're going to add a sword and 2 shields. The order in which we're going to play these is we're going to play this one first, and then we're going to chain into that one there. It's time for our Kingsguards to go. Nobody's actually done any damage to them yet. That's sad. Our first Kingsguard is going to... Oh, he's going to be that awesome card that doesn't do anything. The second guy is going to draw a card that says lowest defense. Oh, this is going to be Alex. Or when they... Oh, yep, that's... No, we both have 2 defense. So it's going to be the aggro token. And the aggro token is currently on Grigory. So Grigory is going to be the one that takes the damage here. And he's going to intimidate. He's going to use 1 to add a fear token to his bag, which is Sad News City. And then he's going to attack the character using a charging jab for 2, meaning he's used all his action cubes. He's going to do a total of 4 damage, and that is going to end his turn. I was wrong about who had the lowest defense. I forgot that Grigory had given himself an extra defense because of his guard card, so he's the one with the lowest. He's going to take 2 damage going down to 18, and he's the one that's going to be adding his fear token or fear chip to his bag, and if I draw that, that is going to make him stop drawing for his turn. We'll draw out our chips for Alec. Let's hopefully he doesn't get that red chip right away. That'd be bad. We got a shield, and I'm hoping for at least a sword. Now I only have 2 actions that I can do. I did get my sword, so I could do some damage if I want to, or I could use them both to gain a green cube for the future, which might not be a bad choice. I think it'd be best just to hit this guy, but I have to use another one, so we're going to use that one right there. And now that I think about it, I think this is going to be a long, drawn-out battle. Giving him a green cube might not be a bad idea. We're going to give him a 3rd green cube, and that's going to be the end of his turn. I'm not going to activate my reinforce. Again, it only does 3 damage, which isn't enough to do anything to this guy. At some point, I might want to reverse the orders in which I do these, because if I can get the -1 chip onto the guy that is going to be able to lower his defense, then at that point, I might be able to use the his ability here to do at least 1 damage. So this chip, I need to get onto him to be able to get this to activate. But really, Alec is doing a great job of just giving things to people that need them. Let's see what we can do with Grigory. We got rid of that last -1 token out of here, so we don't have to worry about that. I get to draw 3 chips. I got a health chip. I love it. That's going to bring me to 12. We're just going to discard that chip. Keep on drawing. Our next chip is going to be a sword. Then we've got a shield. Come on, I need a lot of things here. Another heart, that's going to be 13. I'm going to discard that just so I don't forget to. We're going to keep drawing. And we've got ourselves another shield. This is awesome. Let's see what we get next. We got a sword. Yes, keep giving me these chips. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. This is what we call a super turn. Might even be too much of a turn. That's still only 2 chips we've drawn. And there we go. We've drawn our three chips. That's awesome. Let's see. Oh my gosh, look at all these chips. Let's figure out what we got. We got 1, 2, 3 shields. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, tons of swords and 3 shields. And of course, the only thing I just realized is I hadn't used my flank card last turn. If I could have used my flank card last turn, I could have gained... Look at the backside of this. This has been... So I drew these all at the wrong time. I could have refreshed action cubes, but sadly I didn't use my flank card. Darn it, I should have used it. Okay, so we do need to give ourselves defense. That's going to be one of the main things we have to do. I'm going to have to use 2 of these shields to give myself defense. Oh, but I also want to attack for 1. with -1 attack. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to use this to do a negative attack. We're going to use a double shield to do a sneak attack thingy here, and we're going to probably do it in that order so that I can chain into an attack here. Now I can't use any more actions because I'm out of cubes. Oh, so sad. If I had the thing reversed, I could have put some of these back with this. This is such a great combo if I could get it going. I could combo into this to use my 2 to refresh 2 of these action cubes if I want to do it that way. And then I could have used those cubes over here I could have done something with them. Well, anyway, we could have done a lot of cool things. But instead, we're going to have a lot of chips we're just going to be putting right back into the bag from how I understand it. We're going to use those 2 abilities back and forth there. I am going to use 1 sword to attack with normally, and we're going to use our cross slash at this time. So we're going to give this to an enemy, and then I'm going to, oh no, I'd have to use this and won't be able to make the attack then. Oh, barf. All right, we're just going to attack him like this, then attack him like that, and then attack him with our attack up here, and then attack him with this. Hopefully that'll be quite a bit of damage. Let's see what we can do. First, we're going to lower his defense to 2, but no, sorry. First, I'm making my critical attack, which is going to be for 2 plus 4 is 6 minus 3 is I'm going to do 3 points of damage. Going 1, 2, 3. Then my next attack is going to be with the -1 chip, and I'm going to do 4 minus 2 is 2. Oh, here we go. This is probably going to be the bad idea because I could potentially... Okay, we're going to do 2 more with our main attack, and then our cross slash is going to do 5 minus 2 is 3. We're going to bring him down to 1 again, and oh no, this could be really bad. He could potentially heal if he draws that rally card. Oofda. Okay, hopefully he doesn't. Now, sadly, I'm not even able to use any of these chips. I'm just going to put the green ones back into the thing, and that will go there. But the rest of these are going to be active. Now, I don't have my +2 defense, which I really was debating about putting up instead of attacking with this. Maybe I might do that. Now that I see that I'm putting him at 1, I might want to maybe get him back up a little bit and then be able to do this next turn. I think that's what we're going to do because I don't think I want to hit him for too much and bring him back up. So we're going to use our defense chips to give myself +2 defense instead. And then I also get to gain a green token because I'm going to do it in that order. So we're going to go back a little bit. I apologize. I get a green chip. Wait a minute. Now they got a green chip. That's awesome. Now I do have a green chip. I could still do this. I think we are still going to do what we did, but this time I'm going to be able to get a green chip and do that. That was awesome, Barrett. Why didn't you think of that in the first place? So we're going to do this first, then this, so I can gain a green one. At this point, that's going to cost me 3, which then I get my green chip, which now I can use this. So the outcome's still going to be the same, but this time I actually get 2 defense. Wow, that's awesome. I got to make sure I do things the right way more often. I'm sure everybody's screaming at me, get the green card, get the green cube, but I almost missed it. So there's a lot of cool things you got to realize how your characters are all going to interact with each other, which is pretty sweet. We'll draw our next card here. He's going to attack the person with the highest in attack, which is going to be Grigri. He's got 4, and he's going to shield bash him again. We've seen this one. Shield bash for +2, so he's going to do a total of 4 damage. I actually have 4 defense right now, so that's going to do nothing. Choose a target, all enemies, and then attack target spinning barrage for 2. Well, that's not going to happen because he only has 1 action cube left. Our other character on the other side is going to choose the highest attack again. That's going to be Grigri. He's going to do shield bash. Okay, we've seen this one before. So the same thing's going to happen. They're going to do nothing. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so both those guys do nothing. Oh man, if they ever get that extra green cube in here, this attack would become terrible. Okay, there's a lot of cleanup on this board, more than there is on Grigori's board. We're going to discard all of these green chips, which makes me super sad, but that's okay. We have all these chips are out of our bag, and I don't even know if I have enough in here to be able to do anything, so I might have to take a damage to get these chips back. We'll see. Oh, I have to put this on cooldown as well. And I'm going to remember to flip my cards. Never remember to flip my cards. There we go. Flip these over on that side, and we're perfect. We'll draw with Alex first. If I can just get this sword chip, then we're going to be able to at least attack before anything bad happens. Okay, we got a sword. Hopefully we get some other chips. We got 2. We also are going to grab ourselves... Oh, the fear chips. We have to stop drawing. But the good news is we actually got 2 chips before the fear chip appeared. Now, I discard the fear chip. It should totally still kind of stay up here to remind myself. But we are going to attack because that's going to give me +2, and I have to use that in order to make it happen. So this time I'm not going to grab the green cube, but we are going to use our 2 action cubes here to activate these 2 abilities. The first one is I am going to put a chip into Grigori's bag, and I think we're going to give him a sword chip, We'll put a sword chip into his bag, and at this point, we are going to activate this, which is now going to do 2 plus 2 is 4, minus 1 is 3, which is going to kill off our first Kingsguard. He only had 1 health left, and we were able to do the 3 damage right there, or actually 4, I should say. So he's dead, and we're going to give ourselves 8 lux. Oh, and 10 still! Ooh, these guys are good! With Grigory, we're going to have to take 1 damage, going down to 12, to put these back into his bag. Because I really only, you can always look at what's in your bag. I only have these chips left, which means I'm going to be drawing into almost nothing. So I'm going to put those back in my bag. I get to draw these out until I get 4 chips. We got 1, let's see, 2, let's keep drawing here. We got 3, and I have no shields. That's ridiculous. And 1 shield. I think 1 shield will still be okay. I'd like to have more shields, but I think we'll be okay here. I could put one of these back. Remember, I can use this, and I finally remember it, to be able to mulligan 1 drawn chip. So we're going to re-mulligan that one. Hopefully I can get a shield chip out of here. Yes, we did. Okay, that's fantastic. And I can put this one back in my bag then. And then, since it's green, I don't have to spend it. That's kind of another neat trick I've got. We're going to put 1 action there. We're going to put 1 attack here. Wait, is it 1 attack here? Where are we going to do these? Attack there, and then I can do this. I think that's going to be my best bet here. Oh, man, really? Maybe I did want the attack chip. I could have put the defense and attack here. And if I had kept if I could have kept the sword chip instead of the shield chip, oh, I wouldn't be able to do that, which is what I really wanted to do. So I think we're going to do that. Okay, that's our plan right there. That's going to be what we're going to do. We're going to activate, which order are we going to activate these in? We're going to activate this one first, which is going to give me a shield chip to put into my bag. It's also going to give me +1 shield here while active, so now I have 3 defense. Then we're going to add 2 of these to Grigory's bag, which is going to be awesome. We'll put 2 of these into Grigory's bag. Then we are going to attack an enemy for 0 and exhaust 1 of his cubes, bringing him down to 1 cube. And this should have gotten rehabilitized, I guess you could say. And I'm going to attack him for both of these. Or should I save this for when I give him the -1? I think I'll save that for the -1, because this isn't going to be enough to kill this guy. He does have 3 defense. I'm going to attack him for 4, so I'm only going to do 1 damage, bringing him down to 10 health. I guess I can just put it right there. And we'll move into his turn. He is going to draw into choose target hide. This is shield bash again. And he only has 2 action cubes. So sadly, the ability to get rid of was actually really didn't save me too much. He's going to do 4 damage to me. I do have 3 defense, so I'm going to take 1 damage, bringing me down to 11. We'll clean up all of our boards here. Put these over there. Flip these to the other side and move into our next turn. I'm excited for the fact that I can flip this back over to my combine card, which is going to be awesome. I don't flip these, sorry. Just like that. And now we have to decide if we want to take the damage or just draw the chips we have. I think we're just going to draw what we have. There's 2 chips. We can draw 3 chips, there's only 2 in the bag, which is totally fine. We're going to draw them. There we go, just like that. So the first thing we're going to do is combine, and then we're going to use that. We're going to give healing to everybody. I'm going to put 3 chips into people's bags. 2 of them are going to go into Grigory's, and 1 is going to go into Alex's, and that'll be it. Now, the funny thing is, Alex, only chip he has is this red chip, but that's okay. Grigory can draw 4 chips out of this bag. I don't even know if I have 4 chips that he can draw, but that's okay. We'll see what we can do. If not, I'm just going to draw everything out of here, and we're just going to go to town. Well, I got a health chip. We got a plus chip. Let's see what else we get. We've got our, I'm sorry, I drew 2 by accident, but we got a sword and a shield chip. We got ourselves another health chip. We'll deal with the health chips in a second. Next, we have another sword chip. I'm going to put it over on that side so we can count how many of the other chips we have. That's 2. Let's continue down. Yeah, I'm going to be drawing everything out of here, I think. Oh, there's 3. Now I have 4 cubes, so I have to draw 4. Okay, so there's nothing left in this bag to draw. Okay, he's got a ton of stuff. First thing we're going to do is we're going to gain 2 health, bringing me back up to 13, which is awesome. Then anything I do is going to have +2 attack now, which is going to be super good. And we're going to rock this guy. He's going to first get hit with, oh, I don't have my critical attack up. But that's okay. I am going to use my 2 defense. I don't need any more green cubes. I'm going to go 2 defense to allow myself to use an action token here to give myself 4 defense in case this guy does come back at me. Don't know if he's going to. Then we're going to use a sword and a shield. Oh, I don't have any shields. I ran out of shields. I used them both there. Sword and a shield right there as an action cube to be able to do that. Then I guess I can attack him for 4. Then I can chain over to here to give myself some sword chips. We're going to add 2 sword chips to my bag, which is just fine. I'm hoping this guy doesn't make it too far here. Sadly, my fall back might have been the better route here. Let's see if let's back this up a little bit and see if there's a better choice in our way we do our actions here. Let's try again. Try again. We're going to start here this time, using 1 action cube to give myself 1 sword chip to put in our bag. I'm just going to place it right there for now. Then I'm going to use a sword and a shield here and an action cube to do that. Then I could do 2 shields to refresh one and chain to refresh another one. That doesn't really help. So yeah, it would be better just to do what we were doing before. And we're going to do that. But this time I am going to do it in the order that gives me 2. I'm going to do the same order we just did. This, then this, then this. There we go. And we're also going to activate our cross slash, and I get +2 to all of this that's happening. So I get 1 attack here, 1 attack here, and I'm not going to use this. I'm going to attack instead. We're going to use 1 attack there. All right, I think we got it. I may have messed up somewhere. Oh, I've got 3, no, I got 2 shields. There we go. Yeah, I think we're good here. Okay, let's see what we can do. So we're going to attack with one of our attacks. These are going to go into our, no, these aren't going to go into our bag now. I'm going to discard those. Wow. You guys keeping up? Hope so. Because I barely am. I'm attacking for 4 plus 2 is going to be 6. I'm going to be attacking for 6 damage here, 6 damage here. He's going to have a negative token on him, and then I'm going to cross slash him for 7. Our first attack is going to give him -1 and do 6 damage. So he has 2, so he's taking 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then our next attack is going to be our regular attack, which can do 6 minus 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to whirlwind strike him with cross slash for 732. And he is dead. And so I am going to gain a total of 16 Lux and 20 Sil. That brings our Sil count up to 51, and our Lux Essence up to 8 plus 8 is 16. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get so many of this. 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yes, I count on my fingers because I'm super good at math. 24 Lux. I'm actually just gonna put it to 0 because we're gonna use 2 of it right now. With our Lux, we are going to follow this path. We're gonna gain a sword and our adjusted stance card. So we'll put our new sword chip in the bag with all the rest of our chips that we're gonna be done with our battle. And I'm gonna stop kind of showing you kind of how we resolve all the battle stuff and everything, just because you've seen it enough to understand that as you the turns of the battle, I'm just going to show you what we're drawing and how we're using everything. I'm not going to show you the cleanups anymore. There's no reason to do that. But this one, I'm allowed to flip a non-active card. So for example, if I decided to and didn't want to use advance, I could put a shield on this to flip this non-active card to critical strike for the next turn, or even use it that turn if I want to, which is a pretty sweet card. And I could chain it to gain myself a green cube, which I think is really good. Of course, when I use that, I have to go to parry, which I'm going to be able to gain a dodge token, and I can chain it to give myself +1 defense to an ally's bag, giving that to Alec, which wouldn't be that bad. So there's a lot of cool things, I think, with adjusted stance. So just for those playing at home, I am going to start writing in my book because I don't feel like making a copy of this right now. We're going to go just like that and continue up over here and there. So he's taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgrades. And if we look over on Alex's board, he has taken a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 upgrades. So I might want to continue down this way to get this potion next. But of course, my board is getting full. So maybe I'm thinking just to get the chips might be the way to go. So I don't have to spend so many turns having to maybe take damage to put chips in. I can just keep on going and going and going, which is really good. The other option is, of course, we could go this route and gain purification if we wanted to. Now I can't go up here, remember, because that's for chapter 3. So the most we can get is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more skill nodes. And at the rate we're going, we're going to get those because this is super cool. We'll move up to 85 at this point. I don't want to go to 83 because how I understand it is you can't not start this. And I don't want to start that narrative event. So we're going to go 85, 84 up to mirror. That's going to be our plan. So let's check out what chip we draw going into 85 here. Hopefully we get, I actually kind of want a compass chip at this point. Nope, we got a 1 skull. So we should be able to kill this thing hopefully pretty well on 85. We're going to get surprised by a stone hunter, and that's totally fine. That's more gil or sil and more Lux. I just love getting all this experience in gold. We've seen a stone hunter before. Last time we fought them, they gave us Lux and sil, so that's not too bad. Let's see what happens in this battle. We'll start with Potion Pal, and looking back on my choices, I probably should not have upgraded the Volk Blade. I probably should have upgraded his Iron Short Sword because he's just not doing enough damage. With this, I could do 3 damage. Again, another enemy with 3 defense. So 3 defense is the key here, but we're going to do a combine. I know that's going to be one of the things we do. And the other chip we drew is going to be a sword, which is going to be awesome. We're going to use that. So we'll start with our normal maneuver here because this maneuver is awesome. First, we're going to give this to Grigory, and then we're going to activate this to put this into Grigory's bag. I get to draw out 3 chips for Grigory. Let's see what we're able to get. I've got the double sword, I've got a shield, and the last chip I have is another sword. All right, I have to flip these back to their primary because I never remember to do that, but that's okay. I remember before we start our combat, which is always helpful. And I have 3 action cubes, so we're going to activate them in this order. I'm going to attack here. Oh no, I know what I'm going to do. I am going to flip a non-active card. Oh, I can gain a green cube if I chain it though. I wonder if I want to do that. I think we're going to... Yeah, I think we're going to do that. I'm going to use this first, then chain this to grab a green cube and place it onto my character. So now I have 4 actions. Now this is not an action, which is kind of interesting. And then I am going to flip a non-active card. I'm going to flip this one to its other side and use my 2 swords and 2 cubes to critically strike. That does leave me with an extra green cube that I can't use this turn, but next turn I'll be able to use it, which will be pretty good. So let's see what we're doing. We're attacking for 1, and we're not going to be able to do the chain here, but I can do the chain here to draw 2 more chips. So maybe I can get something. Let's reach into our bag and draw 2 more chips. Now, of course, when you draw into a bag and draw chips, the chips only count when they're black. So even if I draw a green one here, I would still keep going, which is kind of funny I did that. So we're going to go to 14 health on that, which is awesome. We'll draw 1 more, which is a shield. So now I got a sword and a shield with another green cube because of that. Now, sadly, that would have been really awesome to use right here. Or should I just give myself the defense? Let's go for broke. I'm going to hit this guy with that. I'm going to put this away because we've activated that and see what happens here. So in order of activation, this one first, attacking for 0, 4 minus 3, I'm going to do 1 damage, bringing him down to 10. I'll go over there and show all that. And then we're going to flip this non-active card, then activate the non-active card, chaining to draw 2 chips, would happen to be these 2 chips, which I'm going to go to negative chip onto him and attack him for 0. Once that's done, I'm going to activate my cross slash. This is going to be a lot of damage. With his 3 defense, the first attack comes in for 4, minus 1, or minus 3 is 1, so he's down to 10 health. My second attack is going to be my critical attack, which is going to be 6 damage. Minus 3 is, he's going to go down to 3, minus 6 is 3, so he's at 7. Then I'm going to hit him with a negative 1 chip, so 4 minus 2 is 2. Then I'm going to cross slash him. I can't believe this is happening again. Cross slashing him for 4 plus 1 is 5, minus 2 is 3. 1, 2, 3. Bring him down to 2 health on the first turn. Oh my gosh, Gregory is such a powerhouse right now. All right, it's going to be his turn. Let's see what we get. We've got our choose active speaking stone. Well, that is actually going to be Gregory. All right, and even if I use the other one, it'd still be Gregory because he's got the aggro token on him. Sealing strike. He's going to cost him 2. And he's going to do plus 2 damage, which means he's going to do 5 damage to me. And he's going to add a sealing token, I guess, to my target bag. That's terrible. First off, I'm taking 5 damage, and I didn't give myself any defense. I really thought about it, but I didn't. So 5 minus 2 is 3. 1, 2, 3. Looking back on it, maybe I shouldn't have made that second attack, but it was worth it. I do have to put my seal chip into my bag, and that's okay. Now, after I draw the chips, if I draw a seal chip, I can't use my Stonebound ability card. But interestingly enough, if I do the initial draw and use my Stonebound ability card and then activate this, for example, which draws me 2 more chips, and one of them is the seal chip, it wouldn't prevent this from happening because it's already happened at that turn, which is kind of cool. I think that's a neat little way of doing it. I've got a lot of cubes here. I've got 4. I'm going to be drawing 4 chips. Hopefully I have the chips in my bag to be able to draw those. I am going to flip all of these to the other side, which is kind of cool. Alec is going to go first. He's going to draw out his chips. I drew both of them by accident. Those are our 2 chips we drew. That's totally fine. I am going to activate this, and in order to do that, I have to activate something else. Why not? I'm going to gain a green chip. I don't think this is going to matter. Actually, I don't think it is going to matter. So I'm going to do this and put this into Grigory's bag because he is at 10 health right now. Hopefully that'll keep him alive. And I get to attack for plus 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 3 is 1. He's down to 1 health, which is why I chose to use this, because this is not going to help me at all. And looking back on it, I wonder if I should have even used this. Maybe I should have used the chip to be able to give more chips to a bag if I needed to. But we're going to draw into Grigory's bag. Gets to draw 4 chips. I think there's only about 4 in here. 1, 2, and I've that soul seals in here too, 3, and I got a heart chip. Oh, there's only 1 left. Oh, I get to keep drawing. And I get the soul. That's totally fine. This I'm going to discard. It's not going to affect me because I've used this last turn. Oh, this should be on cooldown. I'm sorry. Then I've got 3 swords, and I've got a health chip, so I get to go up to 12 health on Grigory. I'm only able to do a few things. One of them is I'm just going to attack, and the other one I'm going to start putting things into my bag. Let's see if I can do that. I think this is the only thing I can use to put things into my bag if I want to. Now I could totally not attack and put a whole bunch of stuff into my bag, which are going to be really good for an upcoming fight, but I think it's best just to take this guy down. So we're going to attack him for 4 minus 1 is 4 minus 1 is 3 is 1, and that'll be enough to kill him, and I get to add 1 sword chip to Grigory's bag, which right now only is actually completely empty, so putting that chip in will help me for the next time we get into a combat. This poor person is going to take 1 damage, and that'll be enough to kill this person. And we're going to give ourselves, what is it, 8 Lux and a rough leather. So that will bring us up to 12 essence, which I'm going to just use 2 right now, or 10 right now, to bring myself back down to 2. We gain another rough leather, so we're going to be up to 4 rough leathers now. All right, before we continue leveling our characters, I did notice something down here, and I have been cheating this entire time, so we're going to have to retake some of these chips and abilities back from my characters. When I'm in Chapter 2, I have to pay 25 Lux in order to upgrade into these areas here. So these are fine. Those should be 10 still from how I understand it. But 25 I'm going to need in order to get these skills up in there. So I shouldn't have had those when I had them at once. But it's totally fine. We're having a good time. That's all that matters. So I should have been paying 10, 50, 60 in order to get to this area, and then I should have paid another, what, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 105 in order to get to that area over there. So I'm going to have to take back adjusted stance and readjust some of my chips. So to adjust Grigory, what we're going to do is we're going to take adjusted stance away, and I'm going to take these 2 chips away as well. For he should have, how I originally did it was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and what it should have been is 10 plus 50 is 60 just for those there. So these are going to be removed. So I'm going to take out those 3 chips, and I'm going to remove his adjusted stance. But don't worry, we'll get it again soon, I hope. Alex a little bit harder and a little bit easier at the same time. First off, the 2 chips I put in his bag were only 10, so that's good, 10, 20. But this would have been a total of 45. So I'm going to take back my Azure solution. I don't have this yet, but I'm really close to it. I have 12 Lux right now, so I'm actually going to give myself back 10, so I'm at 22 Lux. So if I get 3 more Lux, then at this point I can get my Azure solution. I apologize for that. I didn't catch that at first, but anytime I grab a number 2 node, it should be 25. Let's continue our adventure, and hopefully that didn't cause too much problems. We'll continue on. I apologize for not catching that sooner. We're going to move to node 84 and draw yet again another chip. We are 1 space away from Mira, and we got a, and we got a compass. 78 to 84 still puts us into the forest region, so I'll place a token right on there. Since I'm 3 away from getting my next ability, since I made that error, I'm going to take on something going into this area, because remember we did draw that chip, which allows us to choose a potential enemy, and these will give me Sil and experience from what I understand, or Lux, but I have no idea what this is going to get me, and it's going to ambush me. And you know what? I think I'm going to be okay with that. I know I know that Grigory is a little injured, but we're 1 space away from Mira, and we can rest in the inn, which will be able to heal us completely from what I understand. I may have been off more than I could chew. We'll see how this goes. He has 16 health, but he only has 2 defense, which is going to help us out, because I mean, at least Alec can actually attack this thing, and because his attack is only for 2. But remember, I can give him that +1 through his Stonebound ability, and of course, when he uses the flip side of his combine, also could be able to do some damage to this thing. He has 3 action cubes, and he did go first, so let's see what he is going to do. He's going to go after the person with the lowest defense. The lowest defense, actually, we're both the same. He is going to then go after the aggro token, but there isn't one yet because we have not gone. So at that point, I believe I can choose. So I'm actually going to have it attack Alec because he has more hit points. So if Tenebus Strider has an evasion token, he does not. So he's not going to do any of that. So he's going to do this. But since he doesn't, he's going to do a Horned Ram. It's going to cost him 2 of his action cubes to do 2 plus 3 is 5 damage. Then he's going to use 1 to sprint, which is then going to draw him a card. So we'll draw a card and see what he's going to do here. Lowest aggro. Now, I don't think any of these are going to happen because he needs to actually use action cubes in order to make them happen. So we'll go to the end of turn on that card as well. But he is going to hit for 5. So I'll take 3, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to have him go first because that's just how we do things. We'll draw out 2 chips and see what we got. We got a shield token. That's fantastic. And we got, oh, the sword and shield token. That's awesome. So I am going to empower this to give Grigory that action cube. And then I'm actually going to use this to give Alec an action cube as well. So they both have action cubes. I'm going to activate that, which gives me +1 defense. I now have 3 defense, and I'm going to be able to attack for 2 + 1 is 3 damage. That will bring our Strider down to 15 health, and we'll move into Grigory's turn. He gets to draw 3 chips. There's 1. Let's see what his other chip is here. He's got 2, a sword chip. That's awesome. 2 still, and there's our 3 chips. Let's see what we can do with our 2 shields and our 2 swords. And I don't have my card anymore. What we'll do is use a shield token here to give myself a shield into my bag. We'll put it right in there. Then I'm going to activate this one to attack an enemy for 0 and exhaust one of its cubes. It now only has 2 cubes. Then I'm going to use that to attack, and this is going to just sit and do nothing. And I will also probably, no, I think I'll save this and use my, or maybe I should just do this. Here we go. Nope, that's way better. We're going to go like this. I've got 3 action cubes. Why don't I use them? Boom, boom, boom. So we're going to use these 3. Here's the deal. This is first, so I'm going to give myself +1 defense. I'm going to gain 3 defense and put that chip into my bag. Then I'm going to activate this one, which is going to give him a -1 token. So he's going to gain -1 to his defense, bring his defense down to 1. At that point, since it's a chain attack, I'm going to attack for 4 damage. -1 is 3. 1, 2, 3, bring him down to 12 health. Then I'm going to attack him again for 4. -1 is 3. 1, 2, 3, bring him down to 9 health. And then the last one, I'm going to activate this, and then we'll do what? 4 + 1 is 5 damage. So the final 5 - 1 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, down to 5 health. That actually was really, really good. Let's draw the card for him and see what he has got. Highest attack value, that is going to be Grigory. Grigory is going to get attacked with a tail lash, so we'll move that over there. And I'm going to take, what is it, 3 + 2 is 5 damage. Then I do have Impaling Spikes. That's going to cost 1 more. Glad I used that. Well, good thing is not going to be drawing another card, but I guess it doesn't matter because it's not going to be cubes to use it. It's going to add 2 -1 chips to my bag. That's terrible. And I'm going to be taking 1, 2, 3, 4 damage from that attack. So 5, 4, and I add 2 to my bag. That was a very, that card, no, this is a barfy card. 5 - 3, I'm going to take 2, 1, 2, and then 4 - 3, I'm going to take 1 damage. I'm really glad I did a lot of these attacks this turn because I'm probably guaranteed to draw that -1 from the bag this time. It's going to be absolutely horrible. Let's flip over our 3 ability cards and put this on cooldown. We'll put these 2 into that bag. We'll move over here and put these into cooldown there, or over there, and this, put that into cooldown and flip this. Let's attack with him, maybe hopefully do some damage here. Let's see what we get. I get 3 tokens. I got a shield, a sword, and I also got another shield, which I guess is okay. I'd rather have another sword. We'll put a sword here, shield there, and I guess we'll just kind of let that hang out. I could do this as a double sword. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that a double sword. So I've got these. I'm going to activate both of these. I'm going to use this to give 1 to Alec or an ally's bag. I'm going to give this to Grigory. He's down to 9 health right now. Then I'm going to activate this. If there's another one, I get to do 2 + 2 is 4 damage. He has 2 defense. He goes down to 3 health. And I think that's all I'm going to do with Alec at this point. Going over to Grigory's turn, he might just try to booster up his defense and call it a day. Let's see what we get here. We got a sword, that's not helping. We got a health, I like that. Let's see, we draw up to 3 chips here. A shield, I like that one. Oh, there's one of our negative tokens. Oh, I put the wrong negative token in there. And then we'll put 2 swords, and we drew everything out of his bag. So at this time, I've got -2 defense, but I don't think that's going to matter. I think we're still going to keep him. I thought I grabbed the wrong ones. Those are the right ones. He was supposed to do negative damage to me. I'm going to gain 1 heart, so we're up to 10 health. Then I've got a lot of swords here. I think the first thing we are going to do, we're going to just hopefully destroy this guy. That's my plan. I don't have a lot to actually destroy him with. I've got 1 attack for 4. That's it. All the rest of these don't attack. Oh my gosh, this is bad news city. I'm going to put these 2 into defense to give myself 2 defense, but of course that's going to counteract with these 2. So technically I do still have to put the cubes up there in case he has something that interacts with cubes, but I still have -2 defense, meaning I only have 2 defense. I've got 1 attack coming in for 4, and then I don't think I have anything else I can do. I can add a shield to the bag if I want to. Now, which order do I want to do these 2 in? I could gain an action cube. I don't think that's going to help me. I think what I'm going to do is just grab 2 swords and put do I want to put a sword in my bag? Right now my bag is empty. That's actually really good. I might just forgo that and not do anything with it. Make it a shield. The shield's not going to help me. Do I really want to do that? Yeah. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to attack with this and give myself 2 defense. That's all we're going to do for this turn. My 4 attack -2 is going to bring him down to 1 health. So close, so close, so close. Alrighty. He's going to draw a card and attack, sadly, at the end here. He does have all 3 of his action cubes. He's going to attack the person with the highest attack. That is going to be Grigory again. But Grigory does have 2 defense, thank goodness. He's going to lash for +2, which is going to, is this the same card I had? Yeah, it's the same card we had last time. So he's going to use all 3 action cubes to tail lash, impaling spikes, and draw a card. Let's see what he's going to get here. These are all going to cost an action, so it's not going to do anything. That's the end of its turn. But I am going to get a hit for 3, for 5, and then for 4. And I have to add those -2 to my target's bag again. Yuck. Okay, so these 2 are going to go into Grigory's bag, which is actually going to help me. Believe it or not, it's going to be a good thing. We're going to remove these. I have to take my damage. These are going to go into the discard pile. This gets ready to go again, and I think we're going to be all set, but I do have to take the damage. 5 minus, well, remember these, I guess technically aren't there. So 5 minus 2 is 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 minus 2 is 1, 2. I'm down to 5 health. Alec is going to put these here and that one there. He's still got a few chips in his bag, which I think will be okay. I think I got a plan. All right, we're actually going to go with Grigory first. He's got 2 cube tokens there. I'm just going to grab both of these. He's got -2 defense. That's the end of his turn. He's not going to put anything in his bag. He's not going to take a damage to add anything to his bag. We're going to go to Alec's turn. Alec is going to draw up to 3 chips out of his bag. I have to flip this back over, but I don't think this is going to matter too much. We got a heart chip. That's pretty good. He goes up to 16 health, and then I've got a sword. So the sword, it can attack for 2, but he's got 2 defense. Not a big deal. This thing should be ready to go. I'm going to hit him for 3. And 3 minus 2 is 1, so he's dead. We're going to gain ourselves, there we go, 8 lucks and some spines. So we're going to go up to 8. That's going to be 30, but I'm going to put myself at 5. And at this point, I can get back my Azure ability that I sadly cheated and had it for a little while. At this point, we can move into Mir, which will be awesome. And I do get a set of spines. Here's the town of Mir. Sadly, there is nothing in the blacksmith I can even buy or make, because one of the main things we're missing right now is we don't have any metal fragments, and I don't know how to get them. They must be collected from something. I don't know what it is yet. I've looked at a lot of the things we've fought in the past, and I don't know anything that's given us metal fragments. We must have missed something somewhere. We are going to be coming in from the 74, which is the Golden Gate. From this point, I can travel to the market square to sell or buy things if I want to, but I think the first thing I want to do is go to the Clayhorn, which is the inn. Here we have a chance at potentially picking up a couple bounties if we want, but I don't think any of these are worth it. Like Stone Guardian at 4, I highly doubt I'm able to take those on. And 3-star dudes, probably not able to take those guys on either. So we're not going to be doing any of these at this point. But these are campaign 1, so technically as we get closer to maybe finding the end of this, and we've powered our guys all the way through their skill trees, these might be a little bit more doable. Not to mention we might find some more stones and stone-bound abilities that would be able to give us the ability to take on some of these harder enemies. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. I am going to pay the 15 sil to stay at the Clayhorn. I have 51, so minus 15 brings us down to 46 sil. Also staying here creates a save point, which is denoted by this chip. So if we ever do die, we can choose to start here instead of all the way back over at Fort Istra. Also staying at the inn will allow us to heal back to full. I don't need this chip here anymore. And his full is actually 22 health because he did get those +2 going through his nodes. Even though I cheated a little bit, I was able to still keep those nodes as I went through them. Alec will go up to 20. Also, if you had anything in the bag, it all remains the same. The bag does not change when you rest at an inn. Sadly, they do not sell any metal fragments here, so I'm going to put that token in mirror just like that to remind myself, and I'm going to exit through 74. And from where we are, we're going to head up to this caravan quest that's on node 61. And we'll find out about that in our next video. Again, I said I didn't want to spoil too much of any type of story in this video. I just wanted to make sure that you can see how far this game progresses as you're going. Apologize for missing those experience points at the beginning of the game, but we were able to rectify that and our characters are doing great. I really wish I could find some metal fragments to continue our adventure and hopefully get a better weapon for good old Alec. He really needs it. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when more Isofarian Guard comes out. We'll be continuing this by doing the Caravan quest next, or at least start it and see what happens. Of course, we're still trying to get some iron ore and metal fragments so we can upgrade the rest of our gear for our characters. I know we fought a lot of enemies in this, and I never really used any of the new things coming through, but I can totally see that as you really need to start moving around the map, those additions to the game coming out will be a big key and really increase the value of being able to move so much faster in this game. If you think I'm on the right track, please leave a comment in the comment section, or if you think I'm on the wrong track, you can also leave a comment in the comment section. I really appreciate everybody's help when it comes to this type of game because it's a massive game, and who knows if I'm going in the right direction or if I'm going to be trying to bite off more than I can chew. Having people being able to talk through the story and through the gameplay in the comment section really brings this game alive to me. It's almost like those people are sitting here with me telling me which way or what things we should probably be doing. We leave the game with 46 sil and 5 lux. Hopefully get some more to be able to get Grigory back his ability that we didn't really get the proper way, but we'll get it. At least we got to try it out. It's kind of cool to try it out, but we'll get it for real really soon. Now don't forget, this game will be coming back to GameFound on September 5th. Please check out, not only if you are a first-time backer, you must check it out because you'll be getting a lot of these upgrades or enhancements to the game for free. And the rest of it will probably be a small package that you're going to have to pay for in order to get potentially some of the new events and some of the extra stuff that's going to be part of this. Not to mention, they might be expanding this game as well on top of the reprint, but we'll see what that all transpires as this game goes forward. But do know they're making some awesome minor tweaks to this game that are going to really increase the playability of it, and I'm super excited to start playing with those. That I've already actually started playing with those, though I didn't really use too many of them, but I can see where they're going to be valued as the game goes forward. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out the Patreon. The link is in the description of the video. Those that have already joined the Patreon are shown here on the screen. Thank you so much for your patronage. It means the world to me. Those that join the Patreon get special perks. One of them is that you can see my playthroughs usually a day or two before they go live without any commercial interruptions. On top of that, they are able to help vote on how our characters go through the leveling process. The nodes that we decided to take were from what the Patreons told me in their chat that we have, and it's really been cool to hear all the neat things people think we should do going through this game. Also, the Patreons get a chance to pick out the kind of games that we play and also help me decide who plays in the games if that is a choice. Please join me usually every week for a live painting video where we paint up the people that we use in the game. These were painted during our live stream just recently. Also, every Monday I play a game with Colin from the One Stop Co-op Shop live, so please check out that in the live tab. Thank you again so much for watching, and if you're excited to see if Grigory and Alec can continue through their adventure, including this wonderful adventure with the caravan, then I need you to meet me at the table.